It's from outside. What the heck's going on? What's up, y'all? Sorry I'm a little late. 3 minutes late, but you know, stuff. I don't know what to say. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull up. Dude, that announcement. Holy moly, right? Am I even logged in on Twitter on Gmail? Don't know if I am, to be honest. Let's see. I don't think I am. Can I do it this way? That is not what I wanted. Does that work? Sure, whatever. How's everyone doing? Dude, the prices are going down. Yo Vibes, how we doing? Kia Ora. I don't know what's that? Is that a vehicle? Yeah, dude, the might just no big surprise, right? A new thing gets announced, especially something as big as Disney. Market prices are gonna dip. Kind of glad I didn't pull the trigger on some things I wanted to buy the other day. Kind of just waiting for a more formal MTL announcement, waiting for some other stuff to go on. So means hello. Okay, yeah, sorry. Soft Road. Sorry, I should also do this. I forgot I've been using this. Kia Ora. I had no idea. I thought that was a vehicle. I'm sorry. Secret rares are going for like 198. Which one? Secret rare, what, comics, I assume? Loving the dream? Hell yeah. Means hello. Thanks. Kia Ora. Am I pronouncing it correctly too? Ben Casey, as well as Soft Roading New Zealand. What's up, guys? Dude, we got some New Zealanders in here. I dig it. Hopefully the top gainers thing is fixed. It is not, which is fine. Just let me know what things you guys want me to look up on here in the meantime. You guys can't hear the music, huh? I gotta redo this. Sorry about that. All right, you guys should hear it now. Now you guys should hear it. Also, don't know why it's showing all that, including that. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty basic. So I'm gonna be drinking actually a White Claw tonight. We just had one in the fridge for like a week, and I'm like, might as well drink it. I'm very basic, but yes. The heck? God damn it. My roommate tweeted out something to my friend group, and it's not appropriate for stream, but it's pretty hilarious. Let's see. Or New Zealand, greeting, wishing good health. Thank you. Honestly, that honestly means a lot. I really appreciate you guys saying that. Yeah, comics and what things are going for. Is that a secret? Or yeah, and not all secret rares are the same, right? I think with comics, in a way, it's almost a little bit more black and white, because there's pretty hard set tier lists as to like, hey, what's good, what's bad, what's selling, what's popular, based on just previous sales on I think it's CGC, that's what it's called, where they do the comic grading thing or whatever. So you kind of go based on pricing on that, and what do comic book collectors want. So it's more black and white than I would say with collectibles, right? Collectibles and comics too. I don't know, but believe it or not, a time will come when there will be secret rare comics for 250, 300 gems. Like that's, 200 gems, even lower than that. I mean, there's even secret rares now that are hovering around 200, you know, going even lower. So not just because something is a secret rare, it doesn't mean it has to be, oh, like it's a secret rare, so it has to be this price. Like, I think that times are changing. Kind of like one word. Kiora. Kiora, is that his? Thumbs up, cool. Thought you were a bud kind of guy. Bald beard, that's got to be. I'm honestly not even that big of a beer drinker, to be honest. If I drink beer, I like a good IPA, but not much of a beer person, to be quite honest. It just makes me just feel, I mean, at that point, you're just drinking liquid bread, and I just get like very, I just feel bloated and just like, even if I have just like 2 cans of beer, I'm just like, oh, like, if I can push through that, and if it's like a long thing of like, let's say like day drinking or something like that, I could probably push through it. But if it's like a night outing or whatever, like I'm not a big beer person. I guess it's time to sell my C3PO 262 for floor price. Yeah, now's the perfect time to do it. Actually, it's not. You know, if you're going to do it, the perfect time to do it was 4 hours ago. Pound those White Claws, brother. Yeah, I'm keeping the stream pretty short. I actually got some stuff going on later tonight, so I gotta attend to that. How about you, Ben? What you drinking? White Claws? Yes, hollow, sorry. Would you sell ultra rare Fantastic Four #1 to get gems for this drop? I only have 1 of that comic and not many gems right now. Ryan shot, I think it's shot. I don't know, man, like, you don't have 60 gems on your account. You only need 60 gems. If you're really that tight on gems, I would maybe just skip the poster drop tomorrow, but go for the sunflower drop. And if that doesn't work, there's always, I'm pretty certain that the drop on Sunday will be 60. It's just like most of the other Disney stuff. But then again, I could be completely wrong. We don't even know what kind of format it's going to, like, we know it's blind box format. We don't know if it's going to be a poster or a set of cards or whatever it is, right? Like, we don't know if it's going to be a premium 3D collectible, like the statues and stuff like that, or is it going to be a card or a poster or, I don't know, like an NFT of like a VHS thing with their pictures on it. Because that's what I used to watch all these Pixar movies on and stuff, like on DVD and VHS. You know, camera's losing focus. There it goes. Dude, what up? Are you excited for the Sunday drop? Dude, I am. I'm actually you know, I sold a couple things yesterday. I was like kind of hesitant. I'm like, oh, should I have sold these? Like, and I'm glad I did. So if anything, you know, in hindsight, 2020, I kind of wish I sold more, but it was kind of more of just an experiment. Like I told you guys yesterday, I sold a Donald Duck. I mean, I bought that Donald Duck for 600 and I sold it for 550. And so, yeah, I took a 50 gem loss, just straight, even more than that because the fees and stuff. But I told myself, like, all right, I think I can rebuy another Donald, it going on the way down. It was a risky move. You're like, yeah, but it's still a very tiny part, right? Like, it was a risky move. I did it with a couple other NFTs too, which I probably won't say on stream, but so we'll see how it plays out. I could rebuy Donald, make some tiny amount of profit, and now I'm back at Donald, right? As long as I sell that Donald again for above at least 650 or whatever it is for the feed, like, the only thing that changes is like, okay, now I have an extra, 30, 40, 50, 60 gems in my account, and I just have Donald again. Like, nothing changes. Yes, you said it right. Awesome. Hey, mate, greetings from Australia. What character would you, I assume what I want from Pixar? Too early for a drink, mate. I'm going to have a sesh grill and drinks at my friend's place tonight. Awesome, dude. Hell yeah. I don't think I have anything going on tonight. Well, I kind of, but not really. Tomorrow night, hopefully, something will be going on. Like to see the Pixar Pals drop. Personally, Finding Nemo or Incredible or Monsters Inc. And I'll sell my lung. Yeah, those are going to be popular. We already know Toy Story is going to be in there. I have a feeling it's going to be like Woody and Buzz Lightyear, hopefully. Like, those are the two most iconic. And then like a Finding Nemo, Sully. I forgot the I haven't seen Monsters Inc. in a long time. Actually, I probably haven't seen it in like 11 years. And Finding Nemo would be cool, right? Nemo plus Dory or something like that. And it's only 5, so maybe they'll have each NFT will be from a different Pixar movie. That'd be kind of cool. It would be a little bit, and it said your favorite Pixar characters, right? So if it was Toy Story, they just would have said Toy Story outright. But maybe not. Maybe they said, "Oh, your favorite Pixar characters," and like this time it's Toy Story. Like we have no idea. We're seeing a dip in the market, but I think we're going to see a bigger dip once we actually know mint numbers, box price, actual NFTs, actual characters are going to be involved with the drop, right? Because there's a bit of a difference if it's okay, Cars, which I didn't really watch Cars. Like I don't know how popular that movie is comparatively to like the other Disney movies and stuff. I'm actually going to move my desk up. But if we're having like mostly main characters from every Pixar movie, like I said, if we're having Nemo and Buzz Lightyear and Woody and the two creatures from it's Sully. I forgot the other creature's name from Monsters Inc. Like, if we have all the main characters, like that's a very big difference, right? Only thing to do in Auckland at the moment. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I feel that. Eventually gets to that point in Arizona too, which is where I live right now. Eventually in the summer it gets so hot. The only time you should really be outside is if you're in water. You're either at the pool or at the river or doing something else. Like you should not be outside. It can get really hot. Let me So in Phoenix, not Phoenix. I live on the outskirts of Phoenix, not like in Phoenix proper, but it can get up to like I think the hottest it's ever been here that I've experienced was I'm actually using like a 48 degrees Celsius. I actually use a little converter, so 118 degrees or 48 degrees Celsius. It gets really hot, and there's really nothing to do outside at that point. You basically just treat outside like a nuclear fallout, right? Like it's just so hot out there. Like if you stay out there long enough, you'll probably just die. Let's see here. What was I gonna find? This is not what I wanted. Okay, cool. One thing I don't like about using Restream is I can't see chat. So if someone does become a member or a subscriber or whatever, it's like I can't see anything. If someone uses emotes, I can't see it. So, well, I mean on the aftermarket because probably not getting on drop. And yeah, you got the last name right shot. Okay, cool, nice. Would you rather stack NFTs or comics? If I had to pick one or the other, it's a stack. Oh, like a stacking technique. If I had to choose now, probably comics for stacking. NFTs are pretty volatile, which is something you typically don't want too much. Like if you're doing a stacking thing, right? But either one's fine. It depends on what you buy on the collectible side, though. When does Veve, I assume you mean Veve, publish more details about Pixar drop? It's usually 24 hours before, so it's just tomorrow. At some point tomorrow, they'll give you, so usually 2 days before the drop, they'll tell you roughly what it is. Sometimes it's longer. Sometimes they'll let you 3 days or 4 days in advance. They've done that before with like the Disney lenticular cards. They told us 4 days in advance, and then the very next day they told us of a drop that was happening even sooner, so 3 days in advance. So it's not usually it's 2 days in advance, and then they drop the Medium article, which has all the information, the box price, the rarity, who's in it, how many drops, all that stuff. Usually the day before. So it'll probably come out sometime tomorrow around, I don't know, 11, between probably 11 to 2 or 3 Pacific time. Like 11 a.m. to like 2 or 3 Pacific. I don't know how they, sometimes it takes them too long, but 5 digital collectibles, blind box, probably 60. That's what I'm thinking too. Like all the other blind box drops for other than lenticular cards have actually been 60 for Disney. 50 is for Marvel. When does Veve pledge more details? You already said that. Ratatouille. Is that Pixar? I don't know. I haven't seen Ratatouille, to be quite honest. Mike Wazowski. Cool. Ben Casey, what are we thinking? Med numbers for Pixar group vibes, close to Black Panther or Disneyland lenticulars? Honestly, no way to tell. I doesn't really matter to me too much. I would like to see something on somewhat the higher end of mints, just because I think people want to. We actually haven't had like a real legitimate blind box drop. 007 blind box was the mints were so low. Like it feels like it's been a good 3 weeks since we've actually had like a pretty solid since Black Panther, you know, for a blind box drop. So where people actually felt like they had a chance to win. For the most part. So yeah, I kind of hope I don't think it's gonna be as much as Black Panther, but I hope it's closer to Black Panther. But again, it just depends on what the characters are, right? So exciting drop, Haven fun. I agree, Haven. I showed my roommate, and I didn't know he's a huge Toy Story fan. I showed him, I'm like, dude, hey, like there's a Pixar drop. Veve just announced a Pixar drop, and I had the picture of Woody. He's like, no way, and I'm like, you like Toy Story? He's like, dude, I love Toy Story. It's like my favorite Disney, one of his favorite Disney movies. I'm like, wow, I had no idea. Like, so it's kind of interesting how these drops, you know, and that's the whole point of Veve, right? It's like these drops, it's nostalgic for a lot of people. People like these superheroes or these characters, these shows, these movies. Like people know them, and it's part of their childhood, right? I could have sworn I remember reading an article or something like that most collectors, whether it's stamps, comics, whatever, is people that collect things. Like I think it's like 80 or 90% of the time, it's usually something tied to their childhood, right? Like something they had liked as a child, or when they grew up, maybe their dad liked it, and so they started collecting it. It's, you know, stuff they were immersed in when they were typically younger. Because honestly, you don't get those days back, you know, when you're a young kid. Like just that raw excitement you had when you first watched, you know, Pokemon, or for me, it was like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or different video games when I played, or shows or movies, or like Lord of the Rings, dude. Like Lord of the Rings like blew my mind when it came to like fantasy and stuff. There were so many just movies and stuff that were just like influential to me, like growing up. And that played a huge part culturally, like in my upbringing. I bet it'll be a huge mint size, same as Steamboats. Maybe, we'll see. It depends on the format too, right? So how much do you think the drops list price is going to be? I think it's going to be 60 gems. So maybe one day I'll find the Veve vibes. One day, dude. It's not here. One day you'll find it, but it's not here. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Mike Wazowski is the eyeball monster. Okay, I was like, who the hell is that? I didn't want to sound stupid and be like, who is that? But Mike Wazowski, is that really his name? Just some generic, actual like human name? I guess Sully's also, you know, a human name too, I guess. Just when people thought the dip was over, it won't recover until they take a break from drops for at least a month. We the people. That's not what's going to save the market. Until MTL is fully launched and people have full access to MTL, or Veve makes a more formal announcement via tweet or article saying, hey, we're done with beta testing, or we're done with the small group samples. We are now releasing it to larger groups of people week over week until the end of May, and then everyone will have it. Until we see an article like that, where people can actually see, all right, MTL is here, it's over, it's done, or a timeline or a firm date, anything related to MTL, in my personal opinion, is that's what's gonna like end this whole drop thing, in my personal opinion. Because just the fact that at any point Veve could just say MTL something, MTL article, MTL anything, markets are just gonna crash. I will admit, most of the pricing is already implemented in prices. Like everything's already been crashing or been dipping for a while. Partly, a good part of it is because of MTL. The first reason why is just natural retracement from the market pump in January, but just natural retracement. And then the next reason I think is MTL. So just the fact that MTL is basically at the tip of Veve's tongue when they announce it or drop an article or something random at any point in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, like I think people are just going to be hesitant to buy, because we just saw here people were buying up. Cool. Now there's an announcement. Now my shit's down 30%, like, you know, 30, 40%. The real question is, how long will that dip last? So if they do announce an MTL article saying, hey, we're done with the small groups, larger groups are going to start next week, we're going to be fully released or done with MTL, like everyone on the app will literally have MTL by the end of, let's say May, you know, January, February, March, April, let's say April. End of April, literally everyone on the app is going to have MTL. You know, it's going to be like a month and a half release, slow release of stuff. The market will dip, but I think the real question is, how long is that dip going to last? Could it last 4 hours? Like, are there just a bunch of whales or a ton of people like myself that are just kind of waiting for that bottom and then we're going to pounce? Or will it last 3, 4, 5 days and people are kind of waiting for more information? Maybe there's some back to back to back big IP drop announcements. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. So, in my personal opinion, the only way for the market to like actually recover and really take off is like, all right, we need to get rid of MTL, or at least have it, involved, because I think that's also what's going to get new buyers onto the app too. I can almost guarantee you there's probably some whales or probably people willing to ready to pull the trigger to jump into Veve and spend money. But the thing is, like, Veve, if they wanted to, but if there's some complications or whatever, like, MTL could take another 2, 3, 4 months. Like, they could really drag it out. Not purposefully, but just because of issues or, whatever it is, trial runs or beta testing, whatever it is. So some of those people they're like, all right, like, I'm going to wait till MTL's like confirmed before I put in money. Like, there's a lot of people like that. Sold Superman, Homer, Black Panther, SR when Pixar tweet. Gonna rebuy cheaper as it goes down till Sunday. Then I use those gems on Spidey. You are 700 gems under floor, so flipping it right now. Nice, Dax. That's actually really good. That's kind of one thing I wish I could, more or less do myself, which is, just kind of stick on the market and just flip and flip and flip. But occasionally, I do want to stream. I do want to make a video. So I do miss opportunities like that. Before I made content, I used to do that all the time. I feel like that looks a little bit better, but I probably didn't even change. Whatever. But yeah, I'm already starting to feel also being in a third floor apartment doesn't help either. So I'm already in it's getting pretty hot here in Phoenix or Arizona, whatever. But good call, Dax. Yeah, I did something similar, right? I sold some stuff. I probably kind of wish I sold more stuff because I could just rebuy lower. And that's how you basically, in a way, artificially just create gems in your account, right? It's risky, like, don't get me wrong. But I do think that there's so many winners on the app that even if you did sell Homer, Bart, what'd you say? Superman, Homer, and Black Panther. And let's say you sold it and like they dipped down and they just recovered and they just like actually went higher than what you sold it for. There's other golden moments you can buy. There's lenticular cards, there's Batman, there's other Spider-Mans, there's comics, there's so many other things that you can buy to make up for it. It's not like again, I kind of use this as an example. It's not like there's just Bitcoin and Ethereum and that's it. It's like if you don't invest in one of those two things, like, you're just screwed if they tank or whatever, right? So I don't think I know it's probably a terrible example, but that's not necessarily the case. Like, there's a lot of winners on the platform. Most of them just happen to be Disney. Who knew? As well as comics. That would cause more of a dip, in my opinion. It would, temporarily, though, because people know that, hey, we're done. Like, if there was a MTL announcement, there would be a bigger dip, and then at that point, hopefully people are like, all right, this is the bottom. There's an MTL announcement, we're done. It's kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off. Right now, we're like slow pulling it. We're like, all right, when's MTL? Like, when's the next announcement? The most bullish information we can get right now for a short-term pump would be comics and showrooms, and that would be like very short-term, very artificial, very like, people are like, oh, now's the time to buy comics. And like, some comics might pump like 5, 10, 15%, but it's going to go right back down. Like, literally nothing changed. Like, we all saw this coming. They've been talking about it for over a month now, 2 months now. But MTL, when people know that all the flippers have officially cashed out, or now they have the option to cash out, people I think are actually going to start investing. And we're not going to get rid of all the flippers, right? We're just going to kind of get rid of all the people that are on the app to just like cash out and be done. Because to be honest, like, if I was cashing out right now, like, if I wanted to cash out all my stuff, let's say I literally liquidated my entire vault, and let's just say I have 10,000 gems on my account. As I'm waiting for MTL to come out, I'm just buying. I'm flipping. Like, I'm buying stuff here and there. Like, I'm confident in my abilities to flip. I know the market's going up and down. I'm just waiting for the next. I'm just literally waiting for a Toy Story announcement like this. Wait for the bottom, buy up. When it goes up, flip. That's all I'm doing. So what MTL is going to do is get rid of people like me, where it's like, all right, I'm just waiting to cash out this 10 grand, but because nothing's happening, and not everyone's doing that, right? That's what I would do personally. I would start flipping stuff, like, especially people that might have like they have 10 grand in gems, but they only put in $1,000 into the app. They got so good at flipping, or maybe they just got lucky on a handful of drops, and they might buy stuff and flip it. But even if they come out at a small loss on some NFTs, like, they don't care. Like, they're up so much, it doesn't matter. So we need to get rid of those people, get more buyers on the platform. MTL is going to give a whole lot more legitimacy to the Veve app and stuff like that. So I think it's also going to get more people on the platform. It's going to cause a dip, but temporarily. It's going to be a deep dip. Like, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a crash, but it could only last 4 hours. I do think there's a lot of people waiting for that MTL announcement to happen, and then it's like done, right? Let's see. More of a dip. Yeah, but I agree with you. We the people, like, yeah, it's gonna cause a dip. But I don't think more or less drops is ever gonna fix that. It's not gonna stop the fact that any MTL announcement is still gonna cause a huge dip. But yeah, Sean, this is going to keep happening. Unfortunately, most people are hype gamblers. It is what it is. Yeah, I think so too. We're gonna have a lot of dead cat bounces, not dead cat bounces, but we're gonna have a lot of this. Like I said, until MTLs comes out, we're gonna see, people are gonna start buying up until next big announcement, or just people just start taking profits. It's gonna go back down and then up, then up, then down, then up, then down. So that's just my take on it, and I'm trying to take advantage of it in the ways that I know how, and I'm even exploring some new ways of doing that. So let's see here. And I figured it would take some time too. Like, there are some people that listed a lot of stuff on the market to obviously sell off or undercut or whatever. But it's still really, really early or really, really late in certain time zones. So I think we're going to see a bigger dip later tonight, or we're going to see, depending on the characters and the announcements and all that other stuff with the Pixar drop, we could see a bigger dip after that. So I think that the bigger dip is yet to come tomorrow, in my personal opinion. Totally agree. The looming MTL is creating a ton of uncertainty. Exactly. At any point, and Veve doesn't give anyone a heads up, a hint, or anything. They just smack you. Hey, FE changes, smack. Hey, Pixar changes, smack. It's just, they just do it whenever they want. And they don't have to tell us ahead of time. But I think just the fact that, like, MTL is just around the corner at any point, and they can just completely just trash your NFTs. And I think most of the hodlers have already made their positions. They already spent the money. Right now, like, there's a lot of people that are hodling that are they're gem rich, but like real life money poor. Like, they just don't, they're like, dude, I put so much money in the app, I can't put in any more money. So the only people that are kind of left over right now that are just flipping are some holders that are a little bit less convicted with some NFTs, and just flippers right now. So Black Panther is already under where I sold, but Superman's extremely close, and there's a full 24 hours for them to drop. Yeah, and dude, when the Medium article comes out, there will be another drop. So that's cool, man. Like, that's, it's a risky move, but I said it yesterday. People are like, oh, should I do that and rebuy? I'm like, it's a legitimate move. Yes. Is it risky? Yes. But, like, that's the thing. Like, it's been a really slow these first 10 days of the month, I would say, when it comes to drops. Yeah, like, one of the things that I sold is already well below what I sold it for. But the other one is still a little bit high. I think when I sold it, it actually ran up like another 300 gems. I'm like, ugh. So I'm kind of waiting for it to go down a bit lower. And, like, again, worst case scenario, I wait for it to get roughly back to where I was before. I rebuy it and I lose out on 50 gems or something like that. Like, it's just a learning lesson at that point. Mind you, I'm the one that told you I sold everything at the pump because it felt unrealistic, but I really don't receive recovery anytime soon, so I bought Black Panther statue and comic just to have something. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I forgot. I do remember you now. Sorry, I get so many people in here, I forgot who's who and who tells what, unless you're, like, in here all the time and giving me shit, so please do. But that's awesome, man. Like, you picked the perfect time to cash out. If you are trying to, no, I think you said, I remember your story about cashing out. You're gonna have some gems left over and kind of play the market a bit, but you've done your time. Saw your Mickey hat listed. Yeah, that was one I was really on the fence about, on and off, for the last 2 days about selling it. Should I sell it and try and rebuy it at the bottom and this and that? Like, and as you guys saw, like, Mickey hat did pump. It was at 2.1K for a while. Then it pumped the last 2 days. It was starting to run. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let this ride. And it went all the way up to 2.8, 2.9. And I'm like, should I sell now? Should I just undercut and get rid of it? I'm like, I don't know, what if it keeps running? Like, this month is really slow. Like, what if they don't announce anything for another week? Like, that could definitely happen. Like, they've done it before in January and parts of February. So I won't sell it. And then when they announced it, I was just heavy undercutting, because I'll be honest, when they do announce the Pixar stuff, I do think the hat will go back down to 2K, 2.1. And at that point, it's like, cool, I'll just sell it for 2.699 or 2.599 and just rebuy it and just make 300 gem profit. Like it's risky, yes, but I mean it's 15% profit. And like I said, even if that doesn't work out, I can buy Iron Man. There's other stuff I can buy, or I just hold on to it and wait for the next dump, or wait for the MTL announcement, or whatever it is. The hell was I? That's what I was looking at, was golden moments on my phone really quick. Come on. What am I looking at? Oh, a hat. So it's already at 2.4 already. Like it's already going down. So if I didn't get rid of it fast enough, it's just would have been there. I've been saving some gems for a decent drop. Time to go shopping. Yeah. On Sunday. Yeah. Sunday is the day to do it. Like Sunday morning, I would say, like a few hours before the drop. That's the perfect time to do it. And I mean, there's also like, depending on what it is, if some of the box prices are pretty high, or maybe there's some like really low mint, like secret rare, I don't know, like, because there are some people that continue to sell stuff at a massive discount even after the drop because they don't have enough money for what it's worth on the secondary market or whatever it is. So some people do that as well. People are like, oh my God, like, let's say they had a secret rare Buzz Lightyear. They're like, oh my God, like secret rare Buzz Lightyear, the floor is 3K. I don't have enough for it, but I really want one. Let me sell these 2 NFTs for a massive discount so I can afford it. Like people do that. So it doesn't surprise me. But Edson, hell yeah. Go shopping, my man. Treat yourself. Actually, I got to turn this up a bit so you guys can hear it. Let's see. All collectibles. Let's look at golden moments. They're probably nose diving. Some of them are. Definitely my hat is. Oof, Lady and the Tramp. All the way back down to 6 something. White Claw time. Yeah, it's down 55 gems. Leading the Tramp, I could have sworn it went back up to like 800, like low 800s, but now it's back down to sub 700. It got close. Maybe it didn't go up as high as I thought, but all-time low is still 600, at least according to this. I could have sworn there was sometimes where it was at like 590, but yep. What else? Partner statue back to 22K. I don't know. RTG2 back down to 4.5K. Wow, this thing ran up to 6, didn't it? This NFT is like really just swingy. My basic strategy right now, for now, is no move, since that can be the best move at times. I'm just going to wait till we bottom out and maybe buy stuff for the long-term hold. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I agree with the people, and I do think that the absolute bottoming out is going to be around MTL. That is the lynch point. That is the the linchpin of the market. You know, people are waiting to cash out. People are waiting to jump in because of MTL. Like a lot of people are going to be jumping out, but a lot of people are going to be jumping in at that point. Because after that, I would say the only news that we have that's bullish, or like after that, we have nothing but bullish information. Okay. Q system, master collector program, OB to NFT. We're gonna have comics and showrooms, which will probably happen before we get MTL. A handful of other things. Like all it's gonna be is just bullish information from there, for the most part. Of course, there's gonna be some delay announcements by Veve, like, hey, we're working on this. We're actually delayed by another. They're not gonna say a time frame, but they might just keep saying, oh, we're a couple months out. So let's see. Yeah, C3PO went up to 5.4. I could have sworn it was pushing like 5.8 or 6. And then C3PO is right back down to 2.6. This was pushing 2K the other day. It was that's what it was. It was at like 1.7 just 2 days ago. Like this thing is, C3PO is going just parabolic. Yeah, it was at 1.8, 1.7. Went all the way up to 2.7. And now it's retracing back down. Wally. So interestingly enough, the 2 Pixar golden moments are actually kind of holding their value for the most part. They're probably still going down, but just not as much as some of the others. Looks like Pizza Planet Truck is either still going up, or it went up so high yesterday that even though it's retraced, it still says it's going up because it's based on a rolling 24-hour average. Yeah, it's still going up. It's not going down. Maybe because it's Pixar. Who knows? People always try to find any edge they can to to hold their NFTs or give it value or whatever it is. So let's see. What show else should we check out? Let's check out just Spider-Man. I don't know. Kind of want to see what the Spidey's doing. I don't think they can honestly afford to delay MTL anymore. More and more people are getting impatient, and it's affecting their decision making, which is what's helping the dip as well. Yeah, that's definitely true. 100% agree. That is definitely affecting people's decision making process. But then again, I mean, Veve's talked about MTL more in the last like 2.5 weeks than they have like the last year. They gave us more granular information about cashing out and this and that, and this is what we're using, and people already have access to it. They said, right? They said like in the recent AMA that only like 60 or 70 people have access to MTL. That doesn't seem right. It seems like there's more people than that. Like than just like 60 or 70, maybe 80. It seems like there's way more people than that have access to it, but I mean, who knows? Let's check it out. So Spider-Man already down 23 gems. Spider-Man 2099 retraced a little bit. Ghost Spider back down to 74. The Spider-Woman getting no respect. Which is not surprising. There's been no. I'm sure she's appeared in some comics and stuff, but she's definitely. I don't even know there was a Spider-Woman, to be quite honest. Or I remember there was one, but I just completely forgot. Zombie Hunter Spidey at 120. Zombie Hunter Ultra Rare at 580. That's crazy. Spider-Mans are doing their thing. Might be some. I've always kept my eye on Ben Reilly. I do think he can make some things happen. Yeah, this Spider-Man comment pumped a ton. It basically it went up to 6 whatever, and it's literally back down to what it was yesterday. So it's kind of funny seeing it. It didn't retrace all the way back down to here, but it basically just, that announcement just undid all the work that Spider-Man did the last 24 hours. It went up to 610. Now it's retraced back to 540. I do think some of these numbers are a bit off. Sometimes I just think ecomi wiki doesn't catch all these numbers. Like sometimes these things run a bit higher than what the graphs are leading on. So, because I could have sworn this thing did push like 650, maybe like low 600, but not like 610. I don't know. Secret Rare, Ultra Rares, I don't really pay attention to those. Those are in their own league. Jump into Action did hit 1K. I almost know that for a fact. Like it did go back up and hit 1K. Or at least high 900s. Let's see if this picked up on it. Yeah, okay, I thought it was a bit higher than that, but oh well. Spider-Man doing its own thing. Or I already read that. I had 3 X-Men 129s just pumped this morning. I sold 2 of them when the news hit, made 40 gems. Now going to look for a couple other good deals tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow or, you know, the morning of the drop. I do think that's going to be big as well, right? So, yeah, I'm kind of torn. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I really, really want to go for the. I'm gonna go for, you know, all the drops, obviously tomorrow and Sunday. But I was really hoping to buy the poster in that secondary market because that's, in my opinion, that's going to be a historical piece on Veve. It's like the first charity/humanitarian NFT that's on the app for Red Cross. It's related to a real life war, you know, all that stuff. Unfortunately, you know, and it's an awesome gesture that Veve's doing and stuff. So I think it's got a lot going for it. And the art piece looks gorgeous. Like I love the way the art looks. Like it looks amazing. So if it's, as long as it's not at a ridiculous amount, like 1,000, 2,000. 800 gems. I would say if it's below 350, 300, I'll probably scoop it up and just hold it. Maybe even grab a couple. We'll see. I thought they said 40. Yeah, exactly. Or I thought they said 40 people, if I'm mistaken, unless they added more people. That was the most recent AMA, or not AMA. Reese was on an interview with some guy like 2 days ago. I'm not sure, but a lot of content creators have done a reaction video to that stream. So like I know Dino did like a reaction video to that interview. Cabela Anderson did. Randy Chavez did. So check out any of their channels and watch their reaction video to it. They'll go through it. Comics holding strong. Yeah, we'll check those out in a bit. Comics definitely survives the fluctuation in the market. Agreed. You know, it's not as volatile. Doesn't pump as much or dip as much as collectibles, but yeah, they're kind of doing their own thing. Let's check out my comics. So the my comics is just a favorites tab I created of all the secret rare and ultra rare comics that I think are worthwhile, in my opinion. So yeah, like Marvel Spotlight number 5. This actually was at 400 gems right before the Pixar announcement. This was at 400 gems right before the Pixar announcement. Now it's already back down to 330. First appearance of, so like comics are holding their value. Wow. Secret rare green Gobbo, huh? Funny enough, I was actually talking about this the other day, and I thought this thing would I was like, dude, that's pretty cheap for like kind of a high tier comic, you know? It was like 600 gems. Let's see. Put it up on my phone. Oh yeah, I forgot to pull up the app that allows you guys to see what the hell I'm doing on my phone. I'm gonna keep drinking my raspberry White Claw. Do you know it's kind of crazy how White Claws just got like super popular, right? Like years ago, like 2-3 years ago, like 3-4 years ago at this point. I didn't know. I remember because technically, seltzers have been around for a while. Like seltzers have all the way back from Zima, even before Zima came out. I remember those Zima commercials. Like they would drink it like Zima. I remember those commercials. It's kind of funny. And that was a seltzer back then, but I just think no one cared for it. Now it seems like a lot of people. It's also kind of funny too when you watch people jump on the bandwagon. Like when one company does well with a drink or a beverage or whatever, like everyone else hops on it and tries to mimic it, right? So let's see. All right, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna show my phone. Let me close this. It might take me a minute to find what the hell I'm looking for. Just gonna close that. There's a couple comics I wanted to look at. So Daredevil, this is one I talked about before. Looks like someone already scooped that. There was one for like 110, so it looks like someone already scooped it or they delisted it. I think for an ultra rare, and like Bullseye's not a no-namer villain, right? And this is actually like, I would say kind of like a high B tier comic. It's not S tier, it's not A tier, but it's a B tier comic that's on the higher end, maybe high medium. And it has Bullseye on it. And plus, I love the art on it. Like the art actually looks like really awesome for Bullseye. So the floor right now, and I was talking about it yesterday, is at 117. I do think it could dip a bit more. Not by much though. What else? 330. So that's still chilling at 330. What was the one we're gonna look at? What the hell was? Oh, Green Goblin. That's what the hell it was. I'm like, why am I drawing a blank? It's not it. Did I pass it? I'm just gonna double check and make sure I didn't pass it. Okay. I also don't like it too when sometimes the app like, what's it called? First of all, sometimes this program like lags like really bad. Like it just struggles to like stay up with, you know, how fast I'm scrolling, whatever. We see there's Fantastic Four number 5, like right there. And then when I scroll down a bit more, it appears again. It's just so strange. All right. Dude, this is so obnoxious. Having to scroll down through all these. Did it even appear? Did I overlook it? I feel like I probably overlooked it. And sometimes that happens too. Sometimes the comic just literally does not appear. And you have to like refresh and find it again. Yeah. I have to refresh and find it again. Like it just didn't appear at all. It's a different Green Goblin. It's not the first appearance. Where the hell is it? There's some other ones I wanted to look at too in the meantime. Where's Ghost Rider at? I'll like check out what the comment is at. 34 gems. Wow, that was at 44 earlier today. Now it's already back there. So some comics are retaining their value. I mean, if we're talking high-end comics or maybe some of the newer comics, they are going to be getting sold off. Like I still consider, obviously, Daredevil to be a newer comic. There it is. No, that's Doc Ock. Am I just like missing? There it is. Holy hell, that took long enough. I know there's a way to search it, but like I always found the search function to be such a headache. Ultra rare at 200 right now. You were supposed to look at the secret rare. That's what it was. Yeah, still chilling at 800. Wow, that thing like really ran up. That's crazy. I think it's also because it has pretty high mints. I think that one actually has 70 mints, which is pretty high for comics. I think that's the highest mint number for comics we've had so far. So sorry about that whole stint about looking it up on my phone, but I was just kind of curious to look at some things quickly. Yesterday morning, I bought Ultimate Fallout Rare for 396 gems. Had a super thin floor, but sold it this morning for 540. Nice. Quick 100 gem profit. Was pumped on that play when it actually worked. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you wait till you got the tweet for Pixar, or did you just manage to sell it before that happened and you just had like good timing? That's what I'm curious about. Can you check UR Aston chart? I was curious what it topped out at. Yeah, I actually gotta switch it to collectibles first. Aston Martin. There's no law when you're on the claw. Exactly. There's no laws when you got the claw. Why is this not populating my Aston Martin? All right. Okay. I'm just going to scroll down. I mean, it should legitimately be right here. I don't know why I even bothered trying to type it in. Wow, it's already back down to 470. Let's see. It's already down 100 gems. All-time high for this. I don't know. It's hard to take into consideration because this thing was so new to the app. It looks like it might have topped out at like just shy of 700 once this chart loads. All right. Yeah, like I wouldn't even take any of this in consideration. Like the first day or two, gem squeeze going on, other releases and talks and drops. Like I don't know. So 700 gems is its all-time high. I think it will go higher than this. And from the pump, it went up to 600. Then it's dropped right back down. So yeah. Weird how nobody brags about their day trading skills when the market is in decline. There's just not much to talk about, to be honest, DRM. Like, for the most part, there's like, honestly, the only other thing you can do is like what me and whoever said, like when the market is doing nothing but go down, and unless you have impeccable timing when it comes to like, oh, there's an announcement about the Rewind logo, so now it's time to buy the Rewind logo. Like you have to like time the market like that. Like you have to just basically just play around announcements that Veve has, right? Or just in hindsight know, you know, something like Ghost Rider. Like I just knew Ghost Rider would be a big deal, so I stacked quite a few of those, and I ended up flipping that and ended up doing well. But like when the market's doing nothing but going down, like there's just like not a lot to talk about. I wouldn't say not a lot to talk about, but all you can do is for some people is sell your NFT and just try and rebuy it. Like that's the only other like technique I can think of while the market is just in decline. If the market is just in free fall or just declining for 6-7 weeks straight, like not a lot of like strategies technically you can implement or anything, but I get what you mean, DRM. Just good timing. I bought at 369. There was only like 2 listed that needed to be bought for it to jump to 580, so I listed mine for 540. Got lucky. Nice, awesome. Rob Stuff, what's up? What's up, everyone? I gotta say it like Veve vibes. Rob Stuff, what's up, my man? Give this guy a like and subscribe. Rob Stuff is a great guy, very consistent, knows his stuff. It sucks, Rob, about your goofies. They're retracing a little bit. The listings are still super low for the goofies. But I remember seeing your tweet last night, like, this is why I held my 6 goofies. Went up, announcement, right back down. So, yeah, like, I still think to this day that the actual linchpin for the market recovery is MTL. Well, like, we need that rolled out, or we need at least some firm dates from Veve at some point if we want to see this market have any hope of doing a long-term recovery without any restraints. Because I think just the fact that MTL is at the tip of Veve's tongue at any point is going to just make people cautious, right? That's just my take. Sorry, let me backtrack. Malcolm Luther 13, technically. I don't know if it's 10-3 or 13. I own a ultra rare or ultimate Fallout 4 rare. I look at the movement daily. The floor is always thin. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Dude, we got Shaquille O'Neal up in here, dude. Truly an honor. Truly an honor. I appreciate that. Picked up a 4334 Ultimate Fallout 110. Hell yeah, dude. That's a cool mint number. I'd like that. And that's also, what's it called? Palindrome. And they kind of, it's kind of interesting. They actually like got rid of some palindromes by removing the 0 in the front, but they also created new palindromes like that. Because before it would have the 0 in the front. Now there's no 0, so now it's an actual palindrome. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how that happened. For 110 gems, that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah. Word I sold right before the news for 575. Grabbed 2 more at 450. That's awesome. Yeah, if you can, you know, that's why I kind of like having some play money to make profit. You know, those little wins do feel good. Like if you're nothing, in my opinion, like if you hodl everything, you got to weather the storm. You got to deal with it, and unless you're going to throw more fiat in the app, it can get difficult. Which is why, at least for me personally, as of right now, I think I have about 15% of my vault value. Probably 15% of my vault value right now. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, something like that. It's just for flipping. Like I just flip stuff until I have enough profit to where I can buy a grail or buy another NFT that I want and hold it long term, and then I still have my original gems left over, right? So I just do that over and over and over again. And for me, it's probably around the 2,000 mark. Like I have roughly 2,000 gems. I would say anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 gems. I like to have available for flipping. And then once my gem count gets up to like 4K, 5K, you know, or 3.5K, 4K, I use the difference to buy something like a golden moment or, you know, comics or whatever it is. Cause there's just that flipping incessantly, just, you know, it kind of sharpens your skills in the market. And on top of that, it also kind of fun having small wins, right? Yeah, there's still an opportunity to lose some money, right? But it's not your entire vault value, right? So still super happy with Goofy. Hell yeah, dude. Goofy's awesome. He's still at 1,700. Yeah, he's not nosediving really hard. Like, dude, Donald took a bit of a nosedive. He pumped all the way up to 600 and the other day. And I saw not Goofy, but Pluto at 550. I'm like, dude, how is Donald more than Pluto? It doesn't make sense. Like, it might surpass it. I'm like, either Donald needs to go down like immediately or Pluto's gonna pump. And I thought Donald would go down and Pluto would just chill. Maybe he'll go up a little bit. But he ended up pumping like 100 gems, 120 gems the other day. So kind of curious actually where he's at now. Let me look it up on my handy dandy phone here. Where is Pluto at? I guess something a bit more accurate. The ecomi wiki is 40 minutes behind right now on listings, and it's so pretty fresh off the announcement. All right, so here's Goofy. Here's all the stuff. Where's Donald at? 458. Holy moly. So remember I told you guys, again, it was kind of a risky move, but I sold my Donald. I bought it for 600, sold it for 550 the other day, and now technically I can rebuy it and make like, I don't know, 50 gem profit at this point, which kind of makes up for the difference. And when I hold that new Donald, as long as I sell it for above, I don't know, 650 or whatever, I break even or I make profit. I don't know how the math works, but as long as I'm going to hold that Donald for a long time. I mean, I have 2 Donalds. I have one I play with and the other one I hold. And I still think this could go down deeper. I still think this could dip down a bit more. Let me actually just pull up Donald on here. See how much further it can actually go down. Because I could have sworn this thing bottomed out at like high 300s, like 390 or around 400. At that point, people are like, this is just way too cheap. And it just skyrocketed. Should probably show my face too. Not that it matters, but yeah, once it hit here, once it hit sub 400, you know, it was even around sub 400 for a little while. Once it was at that point, people were like, this is just too cheap. And they started buying it up all the way up. It did hit 600. I know this chart doesn't show it, but it did hit basically 600. And then now it started retracing naturally. And now it's just getting exacerbated by the announcement. So, you know, bit of a risky move. But again, like I said, there's so many winners on the app. But even if I did sell that for a loss, and let's say Donald just started running, I would just buy other cards or buy something else and just wait for those cards to get above 600-700 gems. And then it just like, cool, I made profit anyway. All I had to do was wait longer to make profit, right? So That's what I mean is there's enough winners on the app, but like that's why I have some gems I can kind of play around with and make some riskier plays. Whenever that drops, sell them duplicate goofies and take that Todd down. LOL. Yeah, I did see your Todd the other day. I didn't, dude. Rob, have you noticed this? Ever since you became a content creator, people immediately screenshot at you on Twitter, or they'll message you, or they'll not call you out, but they'll obviously make a comment about it on your streams. Be like, hey, I saw you list your Goofy, or I saw you list your Mickey hat. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like, you know, and it's also one of those things where it's like, do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing. Like I've done that before too, where I think it just to be on the safer side, I tell people like just hold on to your stuff, but you just never know. Like me, I just know what my limits are. I think I kind of give an in-between answer. I'm like, dude, like selling it now and buying it later for a cheaper price is a legitimate strategy. It's just risky, and you just need to know what you're doing and be willing to lose it, and just be prepared to buy something else. Like if the whole Donald thing just goes to shit, I have like 5 or 6 other NFTs I can already think of I could just buy for cheaper or for around that same price that I think would just eventually go back up to 600-700 gems anyway. Like it doesn't matter to me. I would just have to wait a little bit longer for profit. That's legitimately it. Let's see. Still waiting on Wolverine statue. That's when I might go crazy and buy a ton of them. Dude, same here. Wolverine comes out, I'm all over it. We the people will get to make a Wolverine gang. Vino wants decent mints. Goody or ultra rare FA Spidey. Check floor for mine. Goody. Mints Goody or ultra? I don't know. Maybe I misread it. Goofy. Okay, you meant Goofy. I see what you mean. I was kind of like, is this White Claw hitting me really hard? Like, what's going on? I'll take Goofy over Todd any day. Interesting. Equivalent price. I kind of agree with that. I'd rather at this price, because right now Todd is at what, 7? It probably already retraced back down to 6.5. Let's see where it's at. But yeah, I would agree. I'd rather have, which is the equivalent of what, 4 Goofies roughly. I'd rather have 4 Goofies than a Todd as well. Yeah, it's at 6.7. It's like 3.9, 3.8 Goofies. So let's just round it up to 4. Like, yeah, I'd rather have 4 Goofies than a Todd, personally. I have 1,100 gems ready for Sunday. Hell yeah, dude. Dang, for real? Glad I have both? Hell yeah. I'm mostly joking. I have a hodler's bias. My point is that it's easy to make short-term gains when the market is going up, but short-term people also lose when the market is in decline. Exactly. I understand. I'm still 80% long. Just 20%. It's just some play money. I can mess around with some stuff on the market. And again, if, like I said, if it does go south, I would just buy something else, like a different lenticular card, or a certain Spider-Man, or a Golden Moment, or comics, or maybe not Batman's, but you know, whatever. And all I have to do is just wait. You just have to I have to wait a little bit longer for profit, but that's it. But yeah, short-term stuff, it's, you know. Could we see the Pixar Golden Moment set climb with the Pixar release? Not necessarily. Like, I will say, like, the Pizza Planet truck is up right now, which is kind of cool. It's not declining, at least last I checked. It hasn't declined since the announcement. It's probably going to be short-lived until people realize, like, okay, it's kind of cool, but I don't think it's going to make it anything special. Like, I don't think having more Pixar NFTs inherently makes, you know, Wall-E or Pizza Planet truck any more valuable. They're pretty independent for the most part, but oh well. Vibes, you going for tomorrow's drop or holding out for some? I'm going for tomorrow's drop. I mean, I have enough gems where I can play all the drops and be fine with it. I will say I really like that poster. I do think it's going to be a very significant NFT on the platform. There's small enough mints where it actually makes it valuable. So there's 4,444 of them. So it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, there's 10,000 mints because we want to, you know. And that's the other thing too. It's could they made more mints because they made them more expensive or less expensive? Maybe, I don't know. But I think Veve did say they're finding alternative ways for them to come up with more donations. But yeah, I'm going for the drops. If the poster is cheap enough, I might buy why I might buy 1, potentially 2 if I can, because I do think those posters, like, it's a historical piece. So Rare Grime Beats. That's a name I haven't seen in a minute. Rare Grime Beats. Oh, great. Veve will never pump if drops keep coming. It's all MTL related, to be quite honest. It's right now, the market will, yeah, the market's going to do its thing, right? And I will admit, I did say this before, once MTL is fully rolled out and we get Q system and all that stuff, like, the market's going to pump, but I think people are going to be more inclined to possibly take profits, like now that there's more actual value tied to stuff, so people might be a little bit less likely to let things ride and just kind of take profit. Who knows? Like 100% speculation and just my headcanon theory crafting, whatever you want to call it. So it's not going to be a forever thing, right? So, and if you notice, it's usually the big IPs that cause the gem squeeze, right? Like there's no independent artists causing gem squeezes. There's no small time IPs or random comics that are causing the markets to crash. It's usually Disney and, you know, Disney related stuff, or Marvel, or so occasionally I think we've had like a big Batman or a DC drop in a while. So it's like, those are usually the ones that cause the gem squeeze. Today's drop, X-Men 96. I just picked up a comment for 6.9 gems. Yeah. How to get it below retail. But about a month ago, even the D tier comics were going for 14 gems. Yeah, times were different a month ago. Now a lot of things are huddling, but for a while, like there was no comics below double digits. Now there's quite a few comics in the single digits, like, you know, basically 9 gems and below. There's a lot of comics in that realm right now. I'll take a Daffy Duck FA over all the current Disney ones. Personal preference, I see that. Daffy Duck, Darkwing Duck. You got to get the Darkwing Duck too. Daffy is Warner Brothers. Yeah, he's the Donald's like the white version. Daffy is the black version of like the duck. Even though they're pretty different, but personality wise, We the Yes Donald is the only duplicate GM I own. Nice. It's a good golden moment to have. Jungle Action at 11, and that's not a D. At 11, and that's not a D. Like a D tier comic? I don't know. Like Jungle Action with Eric Killmonger. Not sure. I know it's relatively. I know it's relatively like low tier comparatively to the other comics that we have on the platform, right? So there's a lot of comics that are going to be better than Eric Killmonger, and a lot more comics to come that are going to be worse. So Daffy's more likable, but I think Donald would probably beat Daffy in a fight. Interesting. We'll see. Might have some deathmatch duck fights. Really hoping for a Buzz Lightyear appearance on this drop. As a 90s kid, he's a classic character I have to collect. Yes, that is very true. That or, Mr. Potato Head or Mr. I think didn't they get rid of that? The Mr. part of Potato Head? Now it's just Potato Head or something? I have no idea. I remember reading an article or whatever that they might have like removed it. Jungle Action is BB tier. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Buzz Lightyear will be the SR in the drop, calling it now. Okay. That's kind of interesting. What do you guys think is going to actually be in the drops involved? I don't know if so Mendes Flips, they even Veve said, and if you remember, you probably do, usually they have the most iconic characters be the common, the cheapest version, because they want people to collect it. Like, if they did, like, let's say they did like Toy Story, they'd probably have something like the T-Rex be like the secret rare or something like that. The T-Rex with the tiny arms and stuff, the green one. Like maybe Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head is like the uncommon or something like that. And I'm trying to remember all the characters. And I honestly have not seen I think I've seen parts of Toy Story 2, but not of 3. I haven't seen 3 at all. But I do remember Toy Story 1 pretty accurately. But usually they have the most. I feel like if they're going to Buzz Lightyear, they're probably going to put him in the common or like uncommon category. Unlikely they're going to put him as a secret rare. But I just hope they just have Buzz Lightyear in general. Like, that'd be sick. I'm looking at some more Jungle and X-Men 282. Have about 10 to stack of both of them right now, but I think they have room to grow. Looking at some more Jungle and X-Men 282. Have about a 10 stack. Yeah, for sure. Well, right now is not the time to sell it. I'm assuming it's going down just like everything else on the market. So just wait till after, what's it called? Just wait till after the drop on Sunday, and then yeah. Really hope so, bro. I agree. I really hope we get Buzz Lightyear. I have the X-Men at 96 mint number. 5603 for 799, and that thing won't sell. It's so new, dude. Like I said, there's just a big drop announcement happening, right? So right now people just aren't buying stuff. At least unless stuff is really, really low, people just aren't buying stuff right now. So that's in. We have to manifest it into reality, yes. To infinity and beyond. I'll even wear, I'm bald. Like I'll wear a little headpiece thing. What's it called? I think it was purple. It's like skull cap thingy, not skull cap, but whatever you call it. Kind of went on his head. SR Buzz would be sweet. It would be sweet. I'd rather have it be the common so more people can have it and afford it. If it was secret rare, depending on the mints, that thing would easily be north of 2K. How to sell my low mint common Voltron for 65 gems for Uncanny X-Men 129 low mint. That was 24 gems. Nice. LBM bats. Hell yeah. I know low mints means different things to different people. I'm just not a big low mint person personally. But some people like it. It could make a huge difference, years from now. That could be a huge deal. I'm excited to be honest. Hell yeah, dude. So am I. I'm super stoked for this. Having mixed feelings on it. On what, your purchase? I think it was fine. Me personally, I'm not too bullish on Voltron in general, so I think that was a good move to get out of it. They should have announced Pixar after everyone bought Ukraine pieces, though. Maybe not. I think they already have a lot of stuff on schedule. It just ended up working that way. So, and plus, it's not gonna, as far as I know, the only the proceeds on the drop itself. So all the money that's going to be spent for the drop is going to proceeds. None of, as far as I know, none of the secondary market stuff involving those art pieces are actually going to the proceeds. So only the what would be the maximum amount? So it's basically 10,000 mints or almost 11,000 mints of that one NFT they had. So 11,000 mints of the sunflower times 60 gems, 50 gems. I don't know if it's 50 or 60 gems. And then 4,444 times 100. So basically, well, just that one NFT alone, they're donating $444,000 based off just the poster alone, and then whatever the rest of the other mint is going to be doing. So I mean, it's quite a bit of money. So just the box price. Any secondary market stuff does not go to it, as far as I know. But they did say they are researching more ways or trying to figure out more ways to donate money. The new B tier comics are going to take about a month to get the flippers out. After that, B tier should be around 20 for common. Look at Avengers 47 or Avengers 57. They're around the same caliber. Interesting. I don't even know which ones those are, to be honest. Let me look those up. My NFT tracker. I do like using this on occasion. The search function. I like the search function on this much better for comics. This is really, really good for comics, as well as finding... as well as just finding price points when you're like just looking up stuff just in general on here. So, what'd you say? Avengers 57? It's Vision. Okay, so it's the first appearance of Vision. I forgot that's one's the first appearance of Vision. And then what's 47? First appearance of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Hell yeah. Yeah, those are both good comics. Ooh, that's only 165 for the ultra rare. Let's look at some ultra rare comics really quick. I'm also kind of catching up with chat a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of activity in chat. Let me catch up with chat first, and then we'll start really like double timing it. I'm gonna double time with chat. And then we'll take a look at some. I really like ultra rare comics. Don't get me wrong, I like secret rares, but I do notice that the ultra rares tend to do like really, really well. I mean, all the comics do, but I like the ultra rares because it seems like the listings of those tend to actually go lower than secret rare because not everyone can afford a secret rare. So people go ultra rare, which is the next best thing, and those tend to do well. Those tend to run quite a bit. Mike Mueller, I'm fairly new to Veve, but I fear people are gauging normal based on what happened in January and February. The prices we see now are actually be normal. Exactly. That's why I think we actually need new users to jump in, and they just don't know, right? Same thing happened with me. Like when I jumped in on Veve and Golden Moments was first dropping, like I literally joined Veve like a day before the Homer drop happened. Got on the app, I got an Elsa on drop, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I held it for a couple days. I'm looking at the market, it's not moving much. And I'm like, you know what, should I sell this? You know, I had a bunch of talk, but in my mind, I had no idea. Like all the people that have been on Veve for a while were saying like, dude, Golden Moments is huge. Like they've been waiting for more big IPs. They've been just messing around with basically like Batman or basically DC, Powerpuff Girls, DeLorean, some Mermacornos, like just some like random stuff, like in some comics. Like that's all they were kind of messing with. Like there wasn't much on the market to really trade or interact or flip or do much with. The game really changed when like Marvel got introduced with Spider-Man and then Golden Moments with Disney. Like those were all big. So I know I'm kind of in reversing it here, but yeah, I think that's when a lot of people jumped on the app. Like a lot of people joined the app during late December, early January, because, you know, people were seeing friends and family. People were on their phones a lot with Veve. They're introducing it to their friends, like I said, and family as well. You know, COVID was happening, you know, in pretty decent swings still back then. And a lot of people were probably saying, so that's what I did. I visited family and we just like stayed inside the whole time. And I just showed them Veve, and a good portion of them are on Veve now. So we went out and did some stuff, but restrictions are a little bit different in California than Arizona at the time. So, but yeah, Mike Mueller, you're totally right. People are comparing the old prices to now, but I think we should also take into consideration that like, hey, if certain NFTs like, you know, Rare Spider-Man, the fact that it did run up to like 2.6K, like 2.4K, it's like that shouldn't be ignored, but it is an aspect of it, right? So I get what you mean. So it's all new, so there is no normal. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's all new, but creepy baby spider doll is gonna be the secret rare. Oh yeah, I remember that. For some reason, I initially thought of small soldiers, like those weird like Barbie dolls with like the blades and knives in their hands and stuff, but no. I know what you mean. I could see Nemo on the drop. Me too. I could see Nemo on the drop. Woody Buzz, Lightning McQueen, Mrs. Incredible, Ratatouille. I think everyone wants Mrs. Incredible. Let's be real. We all want Mrs. Incredible. Or maybe Nemo, yeah. Just bought SR Deadpool, 306 for 1,600. Thoughts? That's pretty much like floor price, right? I think the floor is probably a bit lower now because of the announcement, but that's pretty good. Again, I'm not like a big low mint guy. Like, I'm kind of a firm believer that like if you're gonna go for a low mint, you might as well just go all out and get sub 100, because, you know, universally everyone agrees sub 100 is a big deal. You know, when it's triple digit, okay, that's important. And then it's like, okay, there's a huge range of triple digits. Like, I don't know, but like in the grand scheme of things, who knows? Maybe 3-4 years from now. And again, if you're gonna even hold it for 3-4 years, who knows? Like, you're probably gonna flip it like me on some stuff. Maybe triple digits are a huge deal, because when you think about it, if there is 30,000 NFTs of a certain thing, there's only 1,000 that are less than this, but there's the other 29,000 or more than that. So those are all. No, actually, it'd be 9,999. Well, you know, whatever. Or no, triple digit. Yeah, less than 1,000. Whatever. You guys get what I mean. You're confusing me, Mauricio, with your questions. I appreciate it though. We had a pump, then boom, crash. Yep, all it takes is one announcement. That's why people are like, "Hey, will this NFT run?" Or like, "What will this be in 2 weeks or in a month?" I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, Veve could just completely just slap us with just big announcement. Like, they could if they really wanted to. So that's why it's like, I don't even know what's gonna happen next week, let alone a year from now. People are like, what are long-term? That was kind of people ask those questions less often now, but like, I would say like 3-4 years ago, I think because everything was pumping so crazy, everyone was asking, what's a long-term prediction? Like, hey, what's this gonna be out in 3 years, 4 years? Hey, like, hey, this pumped a lot in 3 weeks. Like, what's gonna happen in 3 months? You know, 3 years? Like, no one knows. And like, people are like, oh man, if it keeps running like this, it's gonna go to 50K. But, you know, it's like, how many people are on the platform right now gonna spend 50K on an NFT that's not top tier grail status? So, but I get what you mean, BJN. that's why like reading these charts is in some ways it's I wouldn't say nigh impossible, but it's difficult. Like you can't just look at a chart and be like, you know, the whole market analysis thing is like, oh, we have a retracement here and this goes up, and you know, we have a double top and this is retracing, and then there's a retest here and blah, blah, blah. Like none of that stuff matters on Veve because all it takes is a single tweet to just ruin everything or make everything better. That's all it takes is a single tweet. So it's, you know, when the market is that volatile, you can't. Oh, that's why I mostly look at like, all right, like what are the total listings? What are some other NFTs in the market right now? Where could this go? You know, and that's why sometimes I still get surprised when things pump. Like I can't always predict when things are going to pump or dump. Like we're always just one tweet away from your NFT going up 500% or going down 70, 80%. Woody Buzzer, common, T-Rex uncommon, Bud Beep rare, Mr. Potato Head ultra rare, Zerf secret rare. Ooh, good call on the Zerf. Diamond Ink. So my C3PO for 3K. I'm so nervous. I don't know how low it's going to go before I buy back. I think let's pull up C3PO. Let's give you some targets. And honestly, you're never going to catch it at the bottom. Like you're already winning, right? Don't get too greedy. I don't know why I put a hyphen there. It's going to type in Goldman moment. Nogi All-Star, you did a good move. A lucky move, but a good move. Come on. Dude, sometimes ecomi wiki gives me appendicitis. All right. Let's give Nogi All-Star some targets. So let's see here. So right now it's at 2.5. Okay, this is a you know, pretty recent refresh. So, I mean, this is the market as of 5 minutes ago. I would say personally, because this I really doubt it's going to go back down to sub 2K. It's not going to do that again. People are going to pull the trigger sooner. Me personally, I would say if this thing gets below 2,200, just buy it immediately, take the profit. Don't even look at it, buy it, and then don't even look at the app again. Don't wonder like, oh, how much profit or did it go lower? Blah, blah, just buy it immediately. But once it starts getting around to the 2,400, 2,200, like 2,300 mark, just keep a close eye on it. If it looks like it's starting to really move and pump, don't buy it before the Medium article announcement tomorrow. So if you see it like pumping now, don't be like, oh my God, I need to buy it now. Just wait, just chill. And because that after that announcement comes out, when people see Buzz Lightyear and this and that, like it says Pixar's most beloved characters. It didn't say, oh, it's Pixar's most like no-namer characters. Like it already has Woody on it, so they're gonna have Woody. At least they should. If they do Buzz Lightyear and stuff like that's, people are more curious about the mint numbers. And I think right now everyone knows the box price is probably 60 gems, but it's going to be which characters and how many. That's going to be the two biggest parts about it. Is like characters and how many. So that's going to, I think a lot of people are also tentatively waiting to buy right now because they're like, all right, what are the numbers? Like, I want to know what's going on. So I would say just keep a very close eye. Just keep a close eye on it just right now, just in general. But if it goes below 2,200, just pull the trigger and just don't look back. Like that's low enough. Because I do think some people are going to start buying it up at that point. Or even 2,300. Like either one's fine, right? Like if you sold it at 3K, so you had to pay what, 250 in tax. So you're at 275 if you bought it at 2,300. I mean, that's still 400 gem profit. That's really awesome. And just think, with that 400 gem profit, now you can go snag yourself a Disney card, lenticular. Now you just got yourself a Donald lenticular card for free, basically, right? You had to make some market moves. It was a bit risky, but you know, and once you do it, reward yourself. Buy something either long term or use that gems to play more stuff. Like, you know, whatever you want to do, man. That's just my take. I'd say the absolute lowest I would wait to pull the trigger would probably be 2,200. I mean, if you're really, really greedy, 21. But again, it depends on listings and the announcement. Just keep a close eye on it. That's my take. Let's go back. What's up, y'all? DRM, yeah, I'm in it for the long term. Hell yeah. This Ukraine drop is total bullshit. They only donate from first sale and edition sizes are so low. Yeah, Daniel. So the first, yeah, they're just donating that. Just with that, they did say on their Twitter that they're looking for alternative ways to donate more money. So, but as of right now, which is the NFT thing, I think they're doing it because it's all through. I think they're doing it all through the blockchain or something like that. I'm not 100% sure like how they're doing it, but there's ways they can like track the money and all that. Yeah, there's going to be ways where people can donate more money. And even my friend Dino Lang, he's doing a stream tomorrow, pretty much half the day, basically from the first drop all the way through to the second drop. He's streaming that whole time. He's taking donations through a local church that they've already vetted and doxed and like made sure that it was legitimate. It's for, I'm trying to remember the name of the thing, but it's on my friend Dino Lang's stream. So I'll be on there too as well. Like I'll be hanging out in that stream, like in chat as well as like literally on the stream. Talking about random stuff, trying to help people get donations. I know Dina's going to do some giveaways too during that stream. At least last I heard. I'm not, I don't know if he's going to do it. I think there's already people that donated. Some people gave some NFTs for the donation that he's going to sell in the market and use those gems to flip and all that stuff. And then I think he's going to take some of those. Then there's going to be some people that give NFTs for actual giveaways for the stream, so people are incentivized to watch and donate, all that stuff. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, like it's kind of what I mean with these donation charities, and it's tied to a real world event, and like there's an NFT tied to it. No one's ever going to be happy. There's not enough mints. It's not high enough price. Like, why are they only doing it one? Why aren't they talking about this conflict? Why are they making an NFT about this social issue? Like, that's kind of why I was like a little tentative about this whole thing. Like, it's a great cause. Don't get me wrong. I'm fully supportive behind it, but when it comes to stuff like this, it's never enough. It's never enough mints. It's never high enough price. It's never enough money. It's never, no, not everyone's going to be happy with it. So it's cool that Veve is even thinking about donating money, and helping the cause, right? So, hey, I hope we can write a little uptick this weekend. Got a few things to sell. I hope we can write a little uptick. Maybe. I doubt we're going to see any kind of massive uptick this weekend, but Sunday after the drop, for sure. I can see that. Maybe before the drop or after the drop. We'll definitely see people start nabbing some stuff on the market. I'm even waiting myself for to buy some things until after the article announcement, like the Medium article tomorrow. At that point, I might buy some stuff and just like resell it, like after the drop, because then prices are going to pump, in my opinion. I forgot that there's going to be a Buzz movie coming out in June. Hopefully they add him. Can't wait for Sunday. Dude, hell yeah, dude. It's going to be awesome. Zerg with a U, not Zerg with a E like StarCraft Zerglings. 1.1 million. Is that how much they're donating in total? Thanks for doing the math for me, Royce. Because just the poster alone, it's like $444,000 that they're donating, and then whatever the other NFT amount is total. Sounds like it's they're donating over $1 million. That's awesome. DRM Daniel Mahler, you're free to make donations outside of Veve. Yep, Vive's also talking about stuff like that. So on my journey into mystery, you are for 430 last week and picked up a low mint Ben Riley uncommon for a 340. I think it was a good trade. I think Ben Riley definitely has a lot of room to move upward. It's just I definitely see the ultra rare journey into mystery just slowly going up over these next few weeks. Again, all the collectibles, the linchpin is just MTL. The sooner MTL comes out, the sooner NFTs can pump. So I do think Ben Riley has a ton of room to grow. I'm not sure if that's a move I would have made personally, but it's not like a bad move. It's not like you went out and bought a bunch of like random common comics that are like really low tier, or you went out and bought a bunch of like Murmacornos or something. I don't know. Could be worse, Dan. Could be worse. But I think it was a decent move. It's not a move I would have made, but James Brown, no shade to Omi the clown, but I really like NFT Tracker better. Yeah, I've been in contact with him. He's helped me with a few different things. I really like the search features of NFT Tracker, like a lot. Like this is awesome. Like this is honestly, this is all the stuff I really, and you kind of reminded me to pull it up. Let me actually check this out. Are you still holding that Marvel Spotlight? You are. I got mine for $272. Can't decide when to sell it. I have 3 of them, so I bought them all. I bought one at 180 and the other 2 at roughly like 300. So, I mean, it's all profitable to me. I'll probably keep one for like the long term, but the other 2 I'm more than happy to just flip. Yeah, I still have it, Oscar. Man, I love that UR cover on number 47. For the Vision, it's really, really cool. Which FA is Uncanny 4, not Avengers 4? Witches. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, that's Black Knight. Sorry about that. I saw her on the cover and I innately just assumed Scarlet Witch. The trick to make ecomi wiki populate stuff. Been glitchy for days. Yeah, he said, there's some stuff going on in the back end that he's fixing. Plus, he said he's coming out with a whole new ecomi website like soon. So hopefully all that stuff will get fixed. Hopefully we'll get some new search features like we're seeing here. I'm just catching up with chat. Everyone like and sub. Hell yeah, dude. Do that, please. Like and sub. Any members out there, please spam the emotes, the member emotes. I also need to get some feedback from my members. I forgot I can do members posts, and you guys can kind of give me direct feedback for like emotes and stuff in the future. Everyone's selling off. I'll take comics from Pixar money chasers. Get rich quick never works, folks. I agree. I'm doing the same thing. I'll try and make a move in Pixar while I can. Like, if it completely depends on the drops. Sometimes just by looking at the box price, not the box price, but sometimes just looking at the mint number and the character, I just know like whether I'm even like go for it or not, right? Hope Mike Wachowski is in the Pixar drop. That would be hilarious. I really hope so too. Big legend. I agree. Holding long term always wins. Yep. I know you're not a low mint guy, but what do you think about mints 100 to 141? Since 41 is the first mint, it means 141 is technically the 100th mint. I don't know. Like no offense, but like the fact that you even had to explain it just means it's not relevant, right? Like if unless something is just blatantly obvious, and eventually those first 41 mints will eventually hit the market. I think those mints did go to a lot of Veve executives and people that did work on the project on both sides of the IP and also ecomi. So who knows? There could be a contract that Veve signed with some of these people that said, "Hey, you have the number 37 mint of this NFT. You cannot sell it or interact with it or do anything on the market with it until 2025 or something like that." Like that could be a legitimate thing where they give these people these NFTs and like, what are they going to do? Just hold it forever? Like at some point they're going to want to sell it or trade it or do whatever. So a day could come when all of a sudden the market's going to start seeing some sub 41 mint stuff on the market and people are like, what is this? It's like, yeah, it's just executives, people, IP holders, people that want to sell it or whatever they want to do, right? So a day will come when that happens. But yeah, I think that explanation where it's like, well, technically it's the first 100. I don't know. That's just me. You're talking to a person that's like very like bearish on like low mints, right? If I had, don't get me wrong, if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw at the app, if I had more money than I knew what to do with, and the only way to differentiate myself was low mints, I would do it. But I don't have Mr. Pag's kind of money, or Brock McBlockchain, or Ray Fixie, or any of those other guys, Dr. Profit. Jamie Brown agreed. My mutual funds just keep running over 15 years. Same thing with these, but buy early and hold. If you don't have any liquidity, don't buy the new hot item. There will be more. Exactly. There's still tons of grails that have yet to hit the app. Apparently there's a big leak that Bitcoin ETF is coming very soon, as early as April. Huge. Imagine they roll out MTL right as Bitcoin is pumping. Yeah, there is some connection, I do think. Like, it's all connected. Like, I do think it's some loose manner. Like, NFT, the stock market, NFTs, Bitcoin, just cryptocurrency in general, they're all loosely connected together. So is there non-crypto ETFs currently? Doesn't seem like it. Imagine a VV index fund. Yeah. I thought about doing kind of like a hedge fund kind of thing where people give me money and I start like just flipping NFTs, not for them, but it was just kind of like a fun like donation thing, but it'd be too much to handle. Nikhil, Pixar character guesses. Yeah, we said some earlier. There's Cars, there's Monsters Inc., there's Toy Story, I know I'm not saying characters here, but I'm just saying IPs that are relevant to Pixar. So ETF rumors have been circulating for months now. Yeah. So I'm just catching up with chat so we can kind of jump on board. Nogi All-Star, let's go. $5 super chat. Thanks for all the advice, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, dude, just pull the trigger and don't look back. Like, you made a great move and don't squander it by like trying to be greedy, So if it goes below 2,200, pull the trigger, but just be ready after. Just wait till the drop announcement, or the Medium article for the Pixar stuff. If it's really bullish information and there's like really low mints of like some very cool characters, or if they're all cool characters, it's gonna dip more, right? That's just my take. And even if C3PO runs all the way down to 1.7, right? Like, who knows? Nobody knows. But thanks for the thing, dude. Sorry, I skipped a bunch of stuff. I also just noticed that my face is not on the screen. Not that it matters. Let me just do this in the meantime. 27.45 is your money back on C3PO. Yeah, that's what I assumed. 27.50. Low is 25.75 right now. I think that's the low. Yeah, give it time. It's gonna run down. Should I sell Steamboat Willie right now? Depends on what you bought it for. If you got it on drop, I don't. At any point, it's profit. It's up to you. But at the same time, I'm just holding my Steamboat Willie. Like, I just don't really have a reason to sell it right now. Sell it to me, Nick Hill, for 1.5. Oof, no. Who's making the ETF? BlackRock, Vanguard. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with all this stuff. No, Gelsar, I see your C3PO. Do you think the market is going to dip a lot or not really? Depends on the Medium article, I'll be honest, tomorrow. Right now we're seeing a small dip. We could see a bigger dip. Again, if we have a lot of big hitting, if it's like legitimately the main character of like the bit 5, you know, the 3, 4, or 5 like biggest Pixar movies ever, it's going to dip a lot, you know. But if it's just, you know, Woody and they don't have Buzz Lightyear and they have like a couple characters that were kind of more like background or like sidekick characters, like it's still going to, things are still going to dip more, but not like hard crash. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Krusty Krab, but it's going to dip a bit more, I would say, after the Medium article. I haven't been keeping up with it, but I know several companies applied. Can't believe people are selling Amazing Spider-Man issue 14 for below 25 gems. You can't have Spider-Man without Green Goblin, right? Right? I already pumped that. Let's go. I'm catching up with chat. Low mints matter in real life, so in my opinion, they'll matter in the future too. Yeah, I agree. It's just like low mints, I would say it's like if I'm not paying a premium for a low mint. If I can grab a low mint for roughly floor price, or maybe like depending on how much it is, an extra 5 to 10% more, sure, I'll buy it. If it's like a super low tier comic and I see, not low tier, but if it's a comic at 20 gems, like sure, okay, I'll buy one for 30 gems for a lower mint, like a super low mint or something like that. I probably won't even go that high. I'll probably like maybe go 25 gems, but if we're talking higher end stuff, like if people are paying north of 50% for like a premium mint, and I'm like, I don't know, that's just my take on it. Like, there's a certain point where it's like, I'd rather just have 2 of the floor than 1 of a kind of premium value. And it's like, hey, do you want to buy my mint number 417 this? It's like, okay, it's kind of low, but not really. And is it that much of a premium? And I don't know. Vibes, what about you are astonishing #1 Wolverine cover my favorite cover? What do you mean? X-Men? That's not a first appearance of Wolverine, right? I thought Wolverine appeared in like Hulk or something, right? Like Hulk something. Astonishing #1 Wolverine cover, my favorite cover. Let me look it up really quick. Goodness, what did you say? Astonishing #1 Wolverine. That's the one on the app. Jesus, I don't even know we had that one on the app. I like the cover. Let me pull it up here in a sec. And I am catching up with chat. Hell yeah, speeding through it. What's up, VV Vibes? Hope you're doing well today. I am. Fortunately, I'm not going to be streaming for that much longer. This was a short stream, so I think I got about 15 more minutes. I've been going for an hour and a half now, so I do need to get off soon. What's your comic buying strategy? Do you factor in MCP? As of right now, to be honest, I couldn't care less about MCP until I get more factual numbers from VV's end. They could also change it up. Like each time they've released MCP, the points that comics have gotten has changed each time. So I know they're retroactively giving people points and stuff, but even then, I'm not too bullish on it. I'd rather just invest in stuff that's going to give me the highest return dollar wise, instead of like getting points for like a random chance to win a random drop on a random raffle. Like, I don't know, competing against whales. Like I don't know. I just need more information. I I like to buy what I see, not buy what I feel. It's like, oh, I feel MCP is good. Like, let me just buy up stuff. It's like, no, what I'm seeing is like MCP is cool, but what are the rewards? What are the, what's so good about it? Like, its current iteration's like kind of cool, but to be honest, I wouldn't put a lot of money in it, like towards MCP. I might put like maybe 5% of like my portfolio value towards like comics for like MCP and stuff, but overall, not really. That's just me personally. I know there's a bunch of other content creators that are very bullish on Master Collector Program, but also at the heart of it, Master Collector Program is designed to basically make like just not good NFTs, bottom tier comics, bottom tier collectibles that aren't selling well to people to buy it up for points, right? Like you're basically, I'm trying to remember, it was just kind of a joke, but it's like, oh, you're basically just getting pimped. Like Veve's like, hey, see all these collectibles that are trashier? Like, you want to buy it for points, right? There's these points you can get. You can get in a raffle, and it's random. Like, get random points for a random raffle for a random thing. Like, buy this trash tier comic. Like, please do. We need this to move. We need the circulation. We need people buying and selling everything at all times. And then when that comic no longer becomes the cheapest one on the market for the best MCP points, then a new one takes it. Then a new one takes it. They're going to just keep swapping, right? So that's just my take. It's in a way, it's helped to reward collectors, but it's also to like incentivize people to buy just trash tier collectibles and comics, in my opinion, too, because it's the cheapest, right? If you value MCP points. Have you guys heard about the new HRO DC comic hybrid trading cards? You buy the packs and scan the code, get an NFT on the card. They have an app where you can trade your NFT cards like Veve. That's cool. Didn't know about that, Jim. I'll have to check that out. HDRODC. Okay. Think there's going to be think they're going to do it movie at all times smarter though. I have no idea what is that a sentence. Think they're going to do it movie at a time smarter that way. Yes. Pele Fantasy or Gem Stack for Pixar. I'm a mess with the localization and global user base. Nikhil, last I heard, and this is legitimately a rumor, like we're not gonna have like localization until like early next year. So roughly 9 months from now. And if we're gonna do something in Pele Fantasy, we're gonna have probably at least like 3, 4, 5 languages so everyone can kind of understand it, right? I don't know. So I'm not too bullish on Voltron. I'm not too bullish on Pele. I might grab a Pele Fantasy Rare because from last I heard, that is probably like the most popular character like in the show. Just in general, he's just like a badass in general. And it's relatively cheap, and plus I like the look and the aesthetic of it. But like overall, like Voltron or Ultraman, not too bullish on it personally. Thanks for your honest opinions, of course. What was Veve article you mentioned earlier? You said that there might be a pump. Krusty Krab pizza. There might be a pump. Like comics and vaults. That's like probably the most. That's going to be a very short-term pump that whenever they announce it in an article, comics will pump 5, 10, 15%, then they're going to go right back down. Like, maybe 20%, depends on the comic, the rarity, how popular, blah, blah, blah. But, so anywhere between 5 to 25% pump in comics, depending on how good it is. And when that article comes out, like, oh, you can read comics or you can display comics in your showroom. That's what I meant. But no article that I've seen. I don't know. Maybe I mentioned something that said something was going to pump. I'm not sure. Haters, Disney won't be dropping more NFTs on Veve. They'll make their own app. Hold my Woody. Hell yeah. Dude, even if, I would say either way, if Veve keeps or Disney keeps dropping more NFTs, awesome. Keep doing it. That's great. It's just going to give us more variety of stuff. But even if tomorrow Disney said, by the way, we're pulling out of Veve and we're making our own metaverse and NFTs and stuff like that, like, cool. The ones we have are literally the first ones on the blockchain, the first Walt, the first whatever. And guess what? They're done. They're not making any more Donalds. They're not making any more Goofies, no more Mickeys, no more, at least on our app. So it's like, cool, that just got more limited and more exclusive. Like, I'm just buying it up. Like, either way, we win. Like, whether whether Disney does their own thing and their own metaverse, and if anything, if Disney made their own metaverse and their own NFTs on their own platform, because that's what they want. They want, like, look at Disney Plus. Like, they took all their stuff off of Netflix. They want to have their own streaming service. They want to make it all about them. They want to have like a spot where all Disney fanatics and collectors and Disney enjoyers can go to this one place and they can see everything Disney and not get diluted with stuff outside. And I think it's only behooved to Disney to say, hey, by the way, if you own Disney NFTs, you can bring it over to our metaverse. Not only will there not be a fee or if there's a fee involved or whatever, not only that, we're going to give you an incentive to bring it over to the metaverse on Disney and keep it here. We're going to give you an incentive week over week. You can show off your wallets, you can show off your golden moments and all this stuff. Like, I think they would want to work with Veve, or at least the NFTs, or make it interoperable to bring it over, right? So I think it would just be, and if they didn't, that would just be a silly mistake on their part. Honestly, it's like, you're not going to invite all the people that initially invested in all of your IP and products, and then you're gonna be like, screw you guys, we're gonna do our own thing. Like, it's not like them to do that. Even if they did, people are still gonna be saying online, like, cool, you guys have all these like Disney NFTs over there. We have the first ones over here on Veve, so you guys want to come by. Skate, what's up, dude? Short stream but enjoyable. What's the one thing you want to see on the platform that's not obvious? First, what's one thing you want to see on the platform that's not obvious? One thing you want to see on the platform that's not obvious. Buy orders. I know Veve probably doesn't have the technology, like hardware yet or software yet, to like figure it out. Whether it's a hardware, it's probably a software issue. The fact that like you can't put up a buy order, like, it seems like a lot of platforms, like, you can do it with stocks, you can do it with video game like market things, like, but it seems like Veve is like one of the only places where there's no buy order system, so people don't even know what the actual floor is. So when things start really bottoming out, like, there's no room for margin trading, there's no room for so like let's just pull up a random NFT. Like, let's say, just pull up Goofy, whatever. Especially since Goofy is actually a good example because that says that, pull up a secret rare. Goofy is actually a good example because he's still relatively new. I mean, he's only been on the app for like, what, 5 weeks or something like that, for the most part. So Goofy's a good example. So theoretically, if Goofy really wanted to, it can go down to like, you know, because people bought it for 40 gems, it can go down to like 500 gems if it really wanted to. But I would love to be able to put up a buy order for Goofy at, right now it's at 1700. I would love to be able to put up a buy order at 1500. Just put up a buy order, and that way people don't have to incessantly undercut each other to sell their NFT, right? If someone wants to sell their NFT for a box drop, or because they're, sorry, I should probably show my face, for an announcement or whatever, there's so many people that want to sell their NFTs quickly, but they can't, so they have to constantly undercut each other, which is just basically just bottoming out the floor. And it's nice to see, you know, a reversal on the market and all that stuff, but it's like, I'd rather just be able to put up, it's going to help people that want to sell immediately to the buyers that want to buy it. And yeah, if the price does go down, then, you know, so be it. But at the same time, that's also going to allow people to do some margin trading where it's like, cool, now there's actually people out there, you know, Goofy's probably a little bit too much to do it, but, you know, people can go out there for, you know, start buying Goofies for 1500, start flipping it for 1700, 1750, like whatever it is. Plus people actually know like where a floor could actually theoretically stop, right? If there's a bunch of buy orders at 1500, it starts going down, but there's going to be a certain point where people are just going to start taking buy orders, and like, then buy orders can actually start like cushioning the floor to not just completely just start bottoming out, but actually start like leveling off, right? If that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I would love to, I just don't think Veve has the technology yet to basically, I think Veve only has the technology to move gems from basically wallet to wallet, and that's it. But if I did put up a buy order, I really hope they don't do it like, because if Veve did have the capability of doing that, the way that the current auction system would work, it wouldn't work the way it would. If the auction system, if they had that capability, how the auction system should work is you place a bid, it withdraws the gems, and it holds it until there's the actual purchase or until the auction is done, and then you have the NFT. But because now you can just basically just put in whatever amount you want, you could just troll every single auction item by putting 999 million gems. Like, you can just do that. So if you did have the technology to basically have the gems be placed in some sort of cloud system or vault or whatever wallet or whatever they could do to have it just be held there until a purchase is made, and then it's done, right? Because the way it would, if they did it like right now, basically the way it would work is like, I'll put up a buy order of 1500, and if someone tried to sell it to me, it would then try to withdraw those 1500 gems. But if I don't have 1500 gems, it just wouldn't work. Or maybe that person would get an error saying, hey, this buyer doesn't have 1500 gems, you can't sell it to this person at this point. And at that point, there'd just be a lot of troll orders. People would just be putting up buy orders everywhere and all that stuff. So I like the idea of buy orders, kind of helps cushion the floors of them just bottoming out, add some margin, helps buyers, helps sellers. People don't need to just basically just keep undercutting incessantly for literally hours and hours and hours to actually sell their NFT to have enough for a drop or to be able to buy something on the secondary market. That's my take. That's like the biggest thing I want is buy orders. Like if Veve could put up buy orders on the market, that'd be great. I would love it. And these are the kind of questions I would love to ask in an AMA. Like, hey, have you guys ever thought about buy orders? Have you guys ever like, I don't know. I love the Veve community, don't get me wrong, but I get tired in the AMA when people are like, hey, the Veve verse can like my DeLorean fly? And it's like, who knows? Like, it's such an arbitrary question, and it's whatever. But yeah, that's my thing. I'm sure I have a few others that I would like to add. Like I would, I think you know my take on FE tag. I would love to like, why is there an AMA coming up soon? And Skeet, you want to screen my question? I was kind of not trolling Alex, but kind of on Twitter about like the whole FE tag thing. And I asked him like, dude, thanks for answering my questions. I look forward to having me up next AMA, because I was asking some pretty hard-hitting questions about FE tag, and now that it's confirmed that technically, as long as there's a new series of like this, basically Alex confirmed we could, if Disney really wanted to, have a whole new series of lenticular cards with these exact characters they wanted to, as long as it's a new series. That's all that matters. If they want to call it summertime Disney cards or whatever it is, and maybe they're like in bathing suits or something like that by a pool, or maybe they're kind of paired up, like maybe Minnie and Mickey, and then these two are paired up, like whatever. As long as it's a new series, all these characters could have FEs right again, and on top of lenticular cards if they really wanted to. I actually, there's a lot of power in the way you phrase a question and the way you ask it, right? So I mean, but Alex is an awesome guy, and I really appreciate him taking the time to like answer my questions and stuff. But like, my questions more involve how do we increase the, how do we make accessibility easier? How do we make it easier for people to transact with each other on the market? How do we make it easier, more user friendly? Like these are the questions I want to know. Like in an AMA, personally, like this is the stuff I want to know. Still a little bitter about that whole FE thing, so that's why I would love to ask them like, hey, about the whole FE tag, is there at any point you guys thought about just like leaving the tags and moving on? Or why did you guys leave the novelty of the tags on like the Batman black and whites, but not on like, you guys were willing to leave the novelty of the tags on, a few thousand NFTs, but like for the other people that invested, a lot of money in the hundreds of thousands of NFTs and had their tags changed, I don't know. Like in the very, very, very long run, will it not matter? Probably. But in the short term, people have a lot of money invested, and the market moves very, very quickly. So I don't know. Anyway, Skeet, yeah, that's my rant. I apologize. It was a really good question. I appreciate it. What do you think will happen when Disney creates their metaverse? I think I already answered that. Don't forget that there are people that just want to have comics to read. Sure, I guess. I mean, you can do it online for free, right? Or there's like a sub thing you can pay monthly to like literally read every single comic that's ever existed for like less than $10. But I get what you mean, New Moon. Entrepreneurs. I like that name. People just want. Some people probably want comics to read, but I can almost guarantee you, I bet you 95% of the people that bought the comics on the app have not read them or cared to read them. I own a bunch of comics, and I think I've read 2 of them. I've read Ghost Rider, and I read... God, what's the other one I read? I haven't even read the Doctor Doom one. Like, I had the Doctor Doom for a while, but I haven't read it. Monsters, Inc. is also Pixar. Hell yeah. Lightning McQueen. Yeah, that's from Cars. I still have not seen Cars. Let's see... Nemo, A Bug's Life, Incredibles. Sup vibes? Daily DoorDash tuning in. Hell yeah, dude. I'm getting off. I know I've been saying soon. I'll give you guys 12 more minutes. I'll give you guys exactly 2 hours. So when I stream for exactly 2 hours, I'm hopping off. But I appreciate you guys being here and all the awesome questions. I'm feeding for some utility or gamification. Agreed. It's going to be a ways out. I really think that's why I'm not, Veve has changed up a lot of stuff when it comes to Master Collector program, which is why I'm waiting for some more hard numbers. I'm waiting for actual reward systems and seeing it and what the points are worth. Because who knows, they could change the entire point structure again. Did they change it a ton last time? No, but they still changed it. Like they did switch around comics, where before comics were more valuable as a set. But then they changed it to now it's better to stack rare. So did they just screw over all the people that basically felt like they had to buy ultra and secret rares to complete sets for extra points? Maybe, maybe not. And I'm not saying everyone did that, but I'm waiting for the Master Collector program to be fully out. 72 watching, 31 likes. Let's get those numbers up. I also met one collectible you like to see. Ooh. Yikes. I would say for for International Women's Day, I would love to see, just me personally, like Laura Croft. I know that's Sony, I believe, owns the licensing to Laura Croft. Maybe not. I know that's but for like International Women's Day, like Laura Croft is badass, or like Mulan or something like that. Trying to think of like one that's like not obvious. I would love to see like Dungeons and Dragons, or I would love to see more Star Trek. Like see, God, there's Battlestar Galactica would be sick. Like as you can tell, I'm kind of a sci-fi fan. And like fantasy too. Lord of the Rings would be sick. Dude, Lord of the Rings would be awesome. There's so many good IPs out there. It's hard to like pick one. But yeah, sorry, Skeet. I just went on like a huge tangent. But yeah, anyway. Now you know. As an avid stock trader and market rat, I love to see buy orders. Great idea. Why not? I think it's mostly just Veve doesn't have the tech to do it yet. Agreed. I had never thought about that. Never thought about that. It would be so dope just to put a buy order in. And if the price hits it, it automatically buys for you. Market is 24/7. We have to sleep. Why not? Like, why is it not implemented? I don't even care if there's a small extra fee. If they said like, hey, by the way, a buy order fee is an extra 0.5%. So instead of paying 2.5%, you pay 3%, or instead of 8.5%, you pay 9%. Like, I'm willing to do that. I kind of hope they don't, but I'm totally down to do that. Thoughts on listing everything partially above floor right now, and buying back after the media market comes out. Seems like Pixar will come out swinging, just like Disney did. I've said that, John. I've done it. It's worked a couple times. Other times it hasn't necessarily worked. I did it recently. So far, it's worked for one of my NFTs, and one of my NFTs hasn't worked yet. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. It's a legitimate strategy. Is it risky as hell? Yes. But is it legit? Sure. Some people are talking about it earlier. I mean, hell. Who was it that said it earlier? Nogi All-Star did it. He sold his C3PO at 3K. He's going to rebuy it when it gets low enough, or at least when he feels comfortable. I'm going to catch up with chat and then move on. They don't buy orders because they don't want it to be a trading app. Maybe. On FA, I had some things today about leaving the Batmans, but I'm right with you. But we move, and your point is very valid. I just want to get their mindset, and that's it. I'm not asking them to change it. I'm not asking them to do anything. All I'm asking for them is, I just want 3 things from them. Next AMA or whatever they ask, all I want is 3 things. 1, just some sort of explanation why they wanted to change it. Just leave it. If anything, it gives it some novelty. Look at cards, look at posters, look at there's plenty of misprinted cards or things that aren't perfectly aligned, like misprints on cards or other physical collectibles. Like that's a thing. That's a novelty. Like things that are misprinted, And I think it would have been a cool novelty that if Vivi's really looking 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, like what's a year and a half worth of NFTs gonna really matter? Like, yeah, it's a novelty that they have the FA tag. Isn't that cool that these cars have the FA tag? Like, whatever. I think like part of me wants to be like, hey, David, imagine you had some physical collectibles. How would you feel if I just changed your physical collectibles? I added more editions. I changed things up. Like, how would you feel if I just changed your collectibles? I know you're a big collector. How would you feel if I just changed it fundamentally, how it worked and how you invested in it? You invested hundreds or thousands of dollars into these collectibles. Like, what if I just changed it? Like, and it's not to be antagonistic or anything like that, but it's a legitimate question. Like, that you guys just changed it. And we asked for clarification. People wanted clarification on the FE tags, not wide sweeping changes on the back end of the data of all these NFTs. And we're just like, and then that kind of goes into question. We're like, wait, do we really own these? And like, can I just store my NFTs in a cold wallet so like Veve can't just change them without my permission? Like that kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know. I think that just caught a lot of people off guard. I think people got so caught up with just, and Alex G even said it in his tweets. He was like, well, he's like, by the way, we don't, over here at Veve, we don't consider FA better than FE or vice versa. I'm like, well, it's not for you to decide. It's for the community. The community decides, that the market decides whether the FE is better than FA. And maybe, like I said, 5-10 years from now, it probably won't matter. But at the same time, it's like you did screw over basically a lot of your OG investors that it like they said they don't want to change up the black and white series. Like it's like, yeah, okay. Most of the people that have the black and white series stuff are your most OG investors and good amount of content creators and all that stuff. I get it, the big name content creators, but like the DeLorean, like there's all those things were just changed a lot. So I don't know, like I'm over it, but like I said, the three things I want is just some sort of explanation. Like, is there any point where you guys thought about just leaving it and moving on? Maybe having it up to a community vote. I almost guarantee you 98% of the people would have said, please do not change my tags. I bought them as they were. Do not change them, please. 98% of people would have said that. They've made changes in the past based on community feedback or community response. So it's like, why not now? That's one thing. Second thing is, I forgot my train of thought. God damn it. Now you're getting me on a rant, Skeet. Second thing, what the hell was the second thing? I don't know. I already forgot. Forgot what the hell I was going to say. So worked up. This White Claw making me come out. I think they make the items and labels them however they want. We decide on what we pay. And our fault for putting so much value on the tags. They did drop them at floor price after all. I don't know about that, outdoor fishing. Like, I thought the whole point of like non-fungible tokens is like, once you own them, it's printed, it's minted, it should be done. Like, you can't change it. But because we're on a centralized platform and Veve still has access to your NFTs in a loose manner speaking, they can still change it. I don't think it's not the community's fault at all whatsoever. I don't know what you mean. Like, it's our fault that we put so much faith in the tags. Like, no. Veve put the tags in place because they know that's a value point. Like, as a collector, just in general, people know, any collector understands the importance of a first appearance. First edition's different with printed material because we don't say, we call it a first edition Charizard. We don't call it a first appearance Charizard card. It's called a first edition because mints, that it just works differently. But when it comes to NFTs, there's a difference between FA and FE, as we've seen before. But just inherently just changing the tags. And we're on a collector platform, right? When collectors are trying to find any edge they can to make themselves stand out, give them extra leverage or legitimacy or whatever it is, but it's like just making changes to the tags to legitimately hundreds of thousands of NFTs of people that have invested in. Like, the DeLorean was that way for like 9 months. They're like, well, some of the NFTs were like this for over a year, but like, so yeah, it's like, let's just screw over all the people that invest in these NFTs in the last, last day all the way to the last like 9 months. And on top of that, they got the Medium article wrong. Like, that's the other point I wanted to make. The three things. Explanation why the FA changed, why, do you guys ever think about community vote, blah, blah. Second thing is, I just hope in the future they just get the articles right. Like, when they release articles, they were still missing NFTs on the original article. They didn't have any golden moments on the article when they originally released it. And I bought a hat. I bought a hat 30 minutes, a Mickey hat, 30 minutes after the article was released. And it wasn't until 4 hours later, I noticed that Mickey hat's still dropping. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then someone pointed out, like, oh, it's on the Medium article. Like, Mickey hat's a FE now. I'm like, no, it's not. I literally did a video on the article. Actually, I actually did a video on the article 3 hours after the article released. And then I did a video and then all this stuff. Long story short, basically, Veve added more NFTs to the list that were FE changed like 4, 5, 6, 7 hours after the article released, and didn't tell anyone. They didn't say, hey, by the way, we forgot to put up the golden moments. These are going to be affected. They didn't let anyone know. They just added it in there and didn't tell anyone. So, the FA hat or FE hat that I bought that I thought was a good deal and that could run because it wasn't on the list. All of a sudden it was on the list. Now it just runs down basically a full, K and a half. And then they announced, the second set of golden moments and it ran down even more. So I'm like, whatever. So that's my second thing. It's like, I just hope they just double check their articles, make sure all the information is correct. Cause there are people literally making purchasing decisions within 2 minutes of when an article comes out. So the information needs to be correct. They need to double check it. Third bit of advice is if they do make changes or if they are going to be changing NFTs, hope they at least get community feedback or put up to a community vote or give us a heads up or at least take us into consideration before they do it. Because, I don't know. I bet you if I asked that question to David, you hey, how would you feel if just the company that you bought a bunch of collectibles from and stuff, they just changed your shit. They just changed the way your collectibles are fundamentally being presented to the market or to the community or whatever it is. Hey, that thing that you thought was only 1,000, there was only 1,000 mints. Oh yeah, the company's not going to do another 10,000 mints, and now they're completely indistinguishable from yours. So now it's just saturated in the market. You know, it's something similar, right? It's not a direct translation, but I don't know. That's my take on it. But outdoor fishing, I see what you mean, but it's not the community's fault at all whatsoever. Open Sea Male Tribe Club, please. I don't know what that is. Lady Death. All right, we got 1 more minute. I'm gonna catch up with chat. I didn't mean to like go on a tangent like this. Skeet just triggered me off. But yeah. Skeet's fault. I'm blaming him. Pixar Mighties, yeah. Dude, I still need to, like, if I can find an artist, I would love to do shirts. And I showed these shirts before. I'm actually gonna show Skeet. If he's still here, or whoever else is here. The shirt ideas that I had. I don't know if I can even get away with some of these. And if you guys have already seen it, I apologize, but I'm gonna show these both here really quick. So this is one I had. I want to be able to customize it because I'm using Teespring. I think just something simple like this, where it just has the market, since market closes 30 minutes before a drop and reopens, whatever. If people can put custom text like in the middle, I think that'd be cool. If you can't put custom text, it'll probably just say like market open, because that's a big meme, right? Like, oh my God, market open. Like, that's a big meme. So I would like to add something like that. Or I have no idea if I can get away with this. I probably need to change the shadow a lot on this, but something like this where it says got Todd. I need to change the text. These are all just like really rough drafts that I have on Teespring. So it says got Todd. There's the shadow. I try to change the cape enough. I probably need to like angle the shadow or something like that, so it's not just blatantly obvious. Like it's a Todd, and like, you know, copyright reasons, I have no idea if I can get away with something like this. I might have to like angle the shadow or make it different enough where it's not immediately identifiable. Season 1, Series 1, number 100, something like that. I had some other ideas. I had an idea for, I don't know how I would do it as a graphic, but something like Gem Squeeze. I was gonna I would obviously ask Alex if I could do it, but I want to put a picture of just Alex's, what is it, his Twitter like image, because it's not him, it's a caricature of him. It has like the, you know, the red background. I was gonna do that and just 4 chili peppers, and that's it. Like no context, no nothing. Like it's just like, if you're in the Veve community, if you know, you know. Like that's it. Clopen, almost closed open. Yeah, that's another one. Or Market Clopen. Oh, merch styles. I like that, especially the custom area for your own message. That's what I want to do, ideally. I'm doing it on Teespring, so I'm not sure. But I actually made some notes. I'm gonna try. I'm not like a graphic artist or anything like that. Like I'm just doing I literally just do everything in like Photoshop. But I would, if I can get a graphic artist, like it would be hilarious. I would love to do one. If you could, if I can get, like I said, like an animator, like a graphic artist or whatever, to basically do a Marvel Mighties version of all the Grails. So imagine like a Marvel Mighties version, like that same kind of art style, but for like Todd, or for like Walt and Mickey. Like they're holding hands, but they have like big heads and they're like super goofy, and it's just like really just silly. And Todd, he's like big head, and it's just kind of like lopsided. He's like holding a cape, or he's just doing like a silly stance. I think something like that would be hilarious. Of course, I'd have to like commission it and do all that stuff. But I always thought like, dude, that'd be hilarious if I could get that going. Where the hell did I put that? The audio documents, is it here? No, it's not it. But I had other ideas like for graphics too, like one that said like Gem Squeeze. God damn, I'm trying to find out where it is. I'll have to look for it later. But I actually had a bunch of ideas for t-shirts and stuff like that, where, because no one gives a shit about Veve Vibes logo or anything like that. Like people want to buy stuff that's related to Veve, and it's kind of an inside joke. And if like you know, and if you see someone on the street that has that shirt, you know, people are gonna like it. Where the hell is it? Damn, dude. There was an app I used on my phone that just had like all my notes and stuff, and I was trying to find it, and I can't find it right now. Is it here? Hell yeah, I think I found it. So these are some of the ideas that I had, which was $10 Omi. I was gonna have a logo that said like $10. So the zero, inside of the zero, like the white zero, there'd be a red O with, and then it spells out Omi. So it just says like $10 Omi. Another one, a green truck. Sure, gotta have the green truck. Pre-penny Omi. So it's like, I don't know how I do a graphic or something like that. It says like pre-penny Omi. Because right now, Omi is still below a penny. So if you're one of those like early adopters of Omi, Alex and the Chili Peppers, Golden Moments, Gem Squeeze. I had some other ones too, but I had another one that said Go Chain OG. So it's a Go Chain and then OG at the end. So if you're really early on the app, you're on the Go Chain, right? And so it would just say Go Chain OG, and it's kind of cool because it's kind of like a, I guess palindrome is technically with letters, right? Or is that with words as well? So it would literally look like this. It would just look like that. It would just say Go Chain OG. I need to add that in. That's one I almost forgot about. The hell? It didn't work? It didn't let me set the message. I don't know. You guys can see it if I do it like this, right? It says Go Chain OG. That's all I would say. Market Clopen. Do a 44-minute rebound. Yeah. Only for the, what's it called? Only for the Aston Martin. When MTL is a meme. Yeah. I was going to do like a when thing too. I would buy it and only wear it when MTL has been released for all, just to use it as a troll for those who forever asked. Yeah. Yeah. Do like 12, 16, 20-minute rebound gang t-shirt. Yeah. I was also going to do one that just said simply, like, it just says like common, uncommon, and it has like the color rarities too that's associated with it. So the common would be green, uncommon would be blue. No, uncommon is, what color is the uncommon? Purple. Rare would be in blue. Ultra rare would be like in gold or like orange, and then the secret would be in red. So it followed the same color scheme as like the comics, but it would say just say common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare. That's all it would say. It's just very simple. I also thought about adding ones that says like common gang or secret rare society or rare royalty, something like that, but not really. What up, gang? Deciding between buying a Donald and Daisy Golden Moment, Green Goblin FA Mighty, and the Mayor of Townsville. Please counsel me, friend. How would you lean? Not Mayor of Townsville. I'm very bearish on just. I think people just flip those a lot, and the only reason why any of the Powerpuff Girls or any of the, what's it called? God, what the hell's the other one? Adventure Time and stuff is getting propped up is because the low mints. The 200% fee makes it very friendly for flipping, and it's cool that it's a season one. They're all season one collectibles, but as of right now, there's just better alternatives to buy for the same price. Like, why would you buy this Adventure Time NFT when you could just buy 2 lenticular cards, or buy a Golden Moment, or buy a Spider-Man, or buy a different Batman? Like, there's just better alternatives of just bigger name IPs, until all those NFTs, in my opinion, price themselves out. I just don't see like Adventure Time or like Powerpuff Girls like mooning anytime soon. I would get the Golden Moments, to be honest. I do think Green Goblin, FA Mighty, and plus all those prices are like very, very different. So like FA Green Goblin, like the Mighty right now, it's probably like 400, maybe a little bit less, but the Daisy Golden Moment's like 800 right now. But I would try and get the Golden Moment if you can. See, my little skylight thing turned off, so that's a sign for me to go. So I'm just gonna read up these last couple comments. I'm gonna take off. So I hope that helped. I would get the Golden Moment. I would wait till after the article announcement tomorrow for the Pixar thing, because if we find out there's like Woody and Buzz Lightyear and Sully plus Mike Wachowski, I think that's his name. If we get all the lead characters of like the very big, hard hitting like Pixar movies, the market's gonna dip more. So I would just wait to buy, in my personal opinion. Hey Vibes, what are the odds on the second appearance of Willy on Sunday? Hey Vibes, odds on the second appearance of Willy on Sunday. Willy? Wally. I think you mean Wally. Maybe it could be up there. It'd be kind of cool. Sell uncommon Spidey and happy. Sell uncommon Ben Spidey and happy whistle to go for Golden Moment Donald Daisy. Not a terrible move. I do admit Ben Riley is like a very volatile NFT in my opinion. I think it has a lot of potential, just like skyrocket, assuming after MTL. And happy whistle is gonna do good too. To be honest, I would just hold those. That's kind of hard because I do think Donald and Daisy could be like anywhere between the top. I could think Donald Daisy is going to move around in the golden moments like tier list between, in my opinion, like the number like 4 and like the number 7 spot. It's going to move around there a lot. I feel eventually it's going to be somewhere up there. So I don't know. That's hard to say. Both of those, all three of those are winners. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. Plus, I'm kind of checked out. Golden moment Elsa or golden moment C3PO for the long term hold. C3PO. I say C3PO. It's gonna. The nice thing about C3PO is like if R2D2 chases, C3PO is the best alternative. So I kind of like NFTs that are kind of attached to another one. It's good and bad, right? Because if R2D2 goes down, C3PO is more likely to go down. But R2D2 does pull up C3PO a lot, I've noticed. So that's pretty much it. So sorry I couldn't stream longer, guys. I wanted to keep it relatively short. So 2 hours, apparently. 2 hours and 10 minutes is still short, but it is what it is. So thanks for stopping by, guys. It's nice to see more. There's a lot of new names in here, so I love seeing that. So Ski, I know I've seen you around quite a bit before and other streams and stuff. And I think you were in here one time before, but a lot of people from like New Zealand and I think one person from Australia, I believe. Maybe not, but I love seeing all you guys here. I appreciate it. So yeah, please double and triple check all of your listings before you post them. Don't screw yourself over before you post stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.